You see, this time I won't be caught by you. The next time I see you, I will say fuck you. It doesn't really matter, that will never really show. The next time it happens, no, you won't let go. It's all you know, it's all you see. It's taken from you, but you won't let it be. It's all you know, it's all you see. It's taken now. All you know and all you see is taken from you, but you won't let it be. And all you know and all you see is taken now.
And now, broadcasting from the jungles of Southeast Asia, it is time for the Ed Namrock Podcast.
Friday night at 8, and I will not be late, and it will be so great. Great. If you guys know that line, then I can't help you. Anyway, back again. Actually, what's funny is I actually played that, and a couple of my buddies were actually bugging me about it, saying how old of a song it was, and it's still kind of like, it's kind of relevant nowadays because of the subject that it talks about. The name of the song is called Taken. Now, of course, art is always left up to interpretation. The song is actually about, a lot of people have told me is it about someone cheating on a significant other and getting caught? None of that stuff. Actually, no. The inspiration of the song comes from some of my law enforcement friends that would party off duty, get completely shit-faced, and then drive home completely fucking wasted and, risk getting a DUI or a wet and reckless or whatever, and they would never get caught. That's where the inspiration came from, which is interesting. But yeah, and then they asked me about the footage that's actually in the video. And I used to work on Santa Monica and Las Palmas, right across the street from the old arena, one of the biggest nightclubs of, probably house history. One of our biggest inspirations here locally was DJ Irene. She was one of the main DJs that had a residency there for a while. And that intersection now, fast forward, has transformed into this really, really kind of morbidly dark concrete jungle. Before I used to be really upbeat, and it's just a little bit, man, I miss working there, but at the same time, I really don't miss what was happening there, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it. But nonetheless, that those days are pretty much in the archives. And shout out to everyone that was actually there with me, experiencing all that. But speaking of archives, my guests today, I've had them both on the podcast before. I have a lot of history with. I've known them for approximately now that's a new year, 14 years. No, actually, no, I'm lying to myself. 16 years. And I figured, you know what? I'm going to have both of them on here because it's kind of like that old cryptic text, the sacred text that you need to read to know the history of. And these two gentlemen are just the right people to actually elaborate on a lot of stories that I don't even know about because they were there before my time. And allow me to introduce once again, Mr. Robert Stylz.
What's up?
And Mr. Frank Ledezma, who has Jordan is the GOAT on his tag, which is subjective. Very subjective, but nonetheless, I mean, I'm not a Jordan hater, dude. Come on. How can you hate on that man? You can't.
Exactly.
But gentlemen, thank you for coming on. Both of you at the same time. It's basically like Christian and Edge, man. It's like Jim the Anvil Neidhart and Bret Hart. It's like Demolition, the original Demolition. It's like Hawk and Animal, the Road Warriors. And it's like Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels, the Rockers, man.
It's like the British Bulldogs.
Oh,
ooh.
Right here.
Yeah, because the Rockers,
right here.
The Rockers broke up, man. Some sweet chin music at the barber shop or the flower shop, and it was
the barber shop. Yeah,
Jannetty was never the same.
No, it's like, you know what? It's funny because the last podcast I did with Frank, Robert, we were like, dude, we haven't even scratched the surface as to what we can talk about.
Yeah, I checked it out, actually.
And a lot of it was retro stuff, a lot as well with you. It's like, man, we can go on about a lot of shit, and we just never got to it. And I'm like, maybe we should run it back with the both of you and just kind of reminisce about that and other things, because I've wanted to ask both of you, because you guys are the only ones that know and can answer this question. How the fuck did it all start? Obviously, I know Robert's story with his history of DJing, but how did you two meet?
By the way,
I never knew that story.
By the way, I like that segue, archives, and you go with the old stuff.
The old guys.
Yeah.
They're bringing on the old guys today, boys.
Hey, I'm getting there, man. I'm not too far. I turn 40 next month, so.
Hey, bro, that's why I'm wearing my Captain EO shirt, bro. The old guy.
40 Edge, welcome.
40, man. 40, yeah. I met you guys when I was 25. I met you guys when I was 25.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. Oh, look who tuned in.
Who is that?
Dude, I just I went to go check them out on yesterday, bro.
You guys went to Decades?
I did.
Such a nice spot, man.
Yeah, my buddy.
I mean, oh yeah,
Johnny is one of the
Johnny?
the greatest drummers you will ever see in person live. He can just fucking destroy a set.
Yeah.
You know what? I second that, because I've seen them in the studio and it just does no justice to how I'm used to seeing them, which is right in front of my face. And I don't know. I think it's just, I don't know if it's a type of engineers that have captured his drumming that don't capture what he sounds like in person. Like if I were to mic him up and record him, I'm like, okay, so this is how it should sound, on an album. But then again, that stuff is subjective. It's just seeing him live general with any group, whether it's Johnny Reyes or, John Dalmain from System of a Down or Dave Grohl or Taylor Hawkins. Studios they only do so much. So as soon as you see them live, then yeah, that's the real deal. Oh, Veronica Famat. Wow. A blast from the past. For me, a blast from the way past. Yeah, when remember Johnny would read lyrics off his flip phone, his Sprint flip phone?
Yep.
And just drum with one hand. I'm like, I would love to see what he does while he's taking a shit. Wow, it's amazing.
I don't really want to see Johnny take a shit, but I mean, he's give me enough liquor.
Actually, I want
to whiskey.
His toes go up.
You know what I mean?
No, I want to see Johnny finally play. I want to see Johnny finally play Stuck in the Middle with You. Steelers Wheel, man.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about, Johnny.
Wow. So how did it start, man? I don't even know.
It was love. It was love at first sight. Wow. Bobby walked into the Double H on Main Street, and it's like everything stopped in slow motion, and I caught him from like across the room in a crowd full of people, and it was just like
Dream started playing in the background.
All 80s music all the time, big hair, you know? Just oh my god!
Oh, this is great! I didn't know this. Okay,
it started. I covered for Javier. Ben and I covered. Actually, I covered first.
Well, okay, Javier, one of the first DJs that was a resident there.
DJ Javi.
Yeah, Javi.
Yeah,
wow, that's old school. But okay.
Go back to, we got to give props to Rob. I mean, Rob was the center. He was the core of bringing everybody in.
Yeah.
Everyone you guys danced to and listened to and got wasted to, that was Rob starting it all off and bringing all the DJs in.
Yeah, so it was that. Wow. And then, Frank got the idea of doing Tuesdays, $2 Martini Tuesdays.
I stole it from Oscar. And I told you that story. Yeah.
Yeah. I hit him up about it. He goes, "Yep, that's true. True story." I was like, "Wow." Okay.
We just expanded on it. As a team, we grew.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. So it just started that, and he's all, want to bring you guys on Tuesdays. Want to try out something? I was like, yeah. And it started we had like 15, 20 people the first night, Frank.
Yeah.
And we were we
had you in the corner indoors.
Yeah, by the register.
Yeah.
We were there. And then
they all danced right there. It was like someone's quinceañera, and their 40-year-old parents were dancing in front of the DJ.
Wait, you had the DJ set up right there by where the
servers area.
Whoa.
The TV.
Okay.
Yeah, right under the TV.
Yeah, we were there.
That's interesting. Okay. Because that's not how I discovered it. You guys are already by the rail.
Yeah,
you discovered it by Starbucks down the street as you're walking over to the end of the third block. That's how everyone kind of discovered it.
No, he was at Penny Lane looking at CDs.
Penny Lane.
Hey, compact discs.
Yeah,
back when compact discs were like $20 a pop, man.
Yeah, you were at Penny Lane across the street. Remember that?
How could I forget, man? Some of the fondest memories I have are on Main Street, even as a kid, because that was like the mini old Pasadena, and everyone's like, "Oh well, Main Street is just trying to copy old Pasadena." I'm like, not really. I go, it has its own personality.
We weren't as strict with the dress code.
Exactly.
I mean, that's good business, right? Keep your community within your community. Give them what you want. Why would you want them to go spend money in Pasadena? Have them spend it in their own neighborhood. Come on now.
And Pasadena didn't have $2 martinis, bro.
Yeah. That's called. I think we refer to that as being archived, Rob. Is that what you called it? Archived?
Yeah.
Nonetheless, man, it was so damn attractive. Whatever you guys did, I mean, the minute I saw, I mean, before I have you guys continue, what attracted me to that place was, believe it or not, besides just the schematic and the build of HH and Alhambra, the staff, man. The staff it's the first thing that you get to know. Everyone's so personable. The first person I met was Frank and Steve Cook. Shout out to Steve Cook. And for some reason, you guys knew I was a first timer there, and you guys just treated me there like if I was going every week. I was like,
hospitality, bro.
I wasn't used to that treatment because, growing up in LA, it's kind of like a dog eat dog. What do you want? If you're not a regular there, then nobody knows you. Nobody treats you like that.
Hospitality, bro.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
It was amazing, man. And that's how, oh, look at Alex. The Bay of Pigs was a grandfather before the Michelada craze.
It's true.
Damn, man.
I don't even know what's
Those
what
taste so
anymore.
good.
I see them in cans. I see people selling stuff, and it's just like,
Yeah.
Just give me some whiskey.
And I'll never forget the first thing that Frank asked me when I was at the bar was, what's your poison? That was his opening line. And I'm like, what's my poison? I'm like, I went over my head a little bit. He goes, yeah, what do you like to drink? And I'm like, oh. And I'm like, wheat beer. And he's like, I got just the thing. And he poured me a fucking big ass pint of hef when you guys had it on the draft. And I kid you not, to this day, that line that you guys had with those kegs were the cleanest, crispest, and every single time you guys poured them was so damn cold that it gave me a brain freeze. It was delicious. I was like, fuck, man. I'm like, little by little, like I was getting suckered in. And then before I knew, I was just
hammered.
Yeah, I never stopped going, man. I was there almost like 5 days a week, 6 days a week.
It was your neighborhood bar. That's what we did.
Yeah, and I didn't even live in the area.
We made everyone feel.
I'm from Montebello. Yeah.
Yeah. We made everyone feel like, it was theirs until they shit on the rug.
Yeah, it's like, like my place before Havana House was the Venice Room. And no disrespect to the Venice Room, but they felt like, you're kind of cheating on us because you're going up north to Alhambra. And I'm like, well, no, I mean, they're cool there. They're like, well, we're cool here. We let you grill steaks here and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, it's not like that, man. So, when you become a regular one place and then you become a regular another, they start to notice that shit.
Of course.
I didn't even notice that was a thing because, you're a patron of theirs and you're loyal, and then you start kind of like being an infidel with them, and then they start judging you, and I'm like,
well, that's like Norm not going to Cheers, bro. That's like Norm not going to Cheers. They see an empty stool and they're like, what the fuck?
Oh man. So tell me more. You guys work together, and let me ask you guys this question, because you guys will know better than I do. What was the most challenging? It could have been a night, could have been an event, it could have been anything, could have been opening procedures, closing procedures. What was one of the most challenging moments together there at Havana House in Alhambra? I'm pretty sure there was one story you're like, fuck, this happened, and we just had a
St. Patrick's Day, remember?
Just hammer and then get through it. St. Patrick's.
Remember that guy? He disconnected the computer, the office, Frank.
Oh yeah.
And you guys had to go manually.
Everything shut down. Yeah.
Jack had to come in.
Yeah.
Jack came in to fix the computer, bro. And you guys went like three hours adding up shit with paper, with pencils and paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the most. It was that day, bro.
The fuck, you guys using an abacus to calculate tabs or what?
Yeah, old school. Cool. Yeah. It was. I mean, it's just like any other business and job you have. You're gonna face obstacles, but at the end of the day, if you improvise and you get through it and you figure it out and you get to the end of the day, you solve your problem, then you're good. They all just become one. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't tell you like the biggest problem there that I faced. It was always a fun time. It was always a real good time.
Well, I mean, it's aside from the fights that would happen inside, and when it was LAPD versus LASD because someone didn't like somebody and blah blah blah. And I mean, I was always thinking, I'm like, how do you guys handle this shit? I mean, aside from security, I mean, you're running the whole show. So as a member of the renowned service industry, you have a reputation to maintain at the same time. So how do you basically tell these people that you've seen for a long time, they've been regulars, now all of a sudden they're fucking throwing blows in the middle of the bar? I mean,
I think
do you tell them, okay, next time, and then you still charge them the tab. I don't even know how that shit works.
I think that's where hospitality comes in, bro. Because you take care of them, the regulars, and that's the regular spot. They don't want to fuck it up, bro.
Yeah,
Right.
that was their spot.
Right.
And then you have other regulars that were like, don't kill the vibe, don't fuck it up. So that's why you'll see some of them, cool it down, calm down. It wouldn't go too far because everybody, they just wanted to have a good time, bro.
Yeah,
that's it. And they're like, nah, they'll say, nah, Franco always took care of us, or the workers, the servers, they always took care of us. So they didn't want to fuck up that relationship, bro, in other words. So that's why, they'll get mad, but then like they'll calm down and they'll come to their senses, They're like, you know what? If I fuck it up, I won't be able to come back. I won't be able to hear Robert play anymore, bro.
You guys have so much rapport.
We had to.
I remember one time you guys grounded me from the bar like for a week because I said something mean to, I think, Jen or Janera. I don't remember. I was hammered. But I think it was Steve. He's like, hey, man. He's like, you're on a timeout. You can't come in for another week. I was like, no. So I wrote a letter. I did all this shit. And they're like, dude, I went and apologized. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, for me, it's embarrassing. Because when you get that fucked up and you start doing things when you're on autopilot, you don't remember.
Bro, we've all been
there. That's a bad deal, man. That's
we've all been there.
For the three of us to even just, jump on a podcast and talk about this 16 years later, at what, 10 o'clock at night on a Thursday. I mean, that just shows that what we were doing there is we're building friendships and brotherhoods that lasted longer than, the 2-3 hours that we were having a good time in a facility that none of us owned. You know what I mean? That's it. And there's a lot of people I was gonna say there's a lot of people that there's a lot of people that met there and became friends, and they've seen other people raise kids and go to weddings and all this other stuff, and I'm sure there's been weddings that married.
Funny you should mention that, because that's exactly what I've been seeing lately. I saw a lot of people who met there, whether it was Havana House or Azul, mainly Havana House. But for some reason, I mean, no disrespect to Azul, but Havana House just had that perfect, like just right vibe for you to not only enjoy yourself, but listen to good music, smoke a stogie, and then I don't know what it was about that place, man. I mean, I'm not dissing us at all. I had many fucking good times there as well, but Havana House is what really did it, because if it wasn't Havana House back in the day, it was Sapphire, because New York Charlie was running the bar. And he was a character, and I mean, I wasn't really used to that New York vibe, but he was so brazen with us. I'm like, oh, well, this is different. And and then I got to meet my boy that I still talk to this day, but he moved back. Is Doug Duran, and he had me just be a stationary for him when we would fly over to Vegas. And he would do that fucking flair bartending shit. And I was like, dude, I got introduced to a whole different world. It was like a traveling circus. That was crazy.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, don't be a fucker.
That's hey, buddy.
Don't be a fucker. But let me ask you this question too, guys. What is it that you miss the most about those days? And Frank's shaking his head, but
hey, dude, I can't narrow it down to one thing, to be honest with you. It was a lot of things.
Frank is like Frank doesn't miss it.
Obviously how about those 49ers? What they do? They lost a coach or something like that?
All right.
What's his name? Saleh?
Robert.
What did Anita say? Hey, just join. Oh my God, Anita.
Hey, you know what? I have a story about that, bro.
Chico's.
I have a story about
Chico's?
Chico's. Yeah, dude.
I got stories
So-
about Chico's.
No, so you know, there's a security place like at the corner of that little shopping center.
Yeah, will you get your card and CPR certification?
Yeah. So a buddy of so a buddy of mine, it was a buddy of mine, and we took another friend of ours. He's all like, "Hey, I got to go pick up my check right there." And we're like, "All right, cool." So, and this was when Chico's had just opened right there. So it was in the afternoon, bro.
So really quick, rewind that. All of a sudden, Chico's just popped up. When did Chico's actually open?
It was a long, dude. I had never seen. You know when it opened? When there was a Shell gas station across the street.
Yes.
Shopping center.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I remember I was pumping gas, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" But I didn't think much of it because I just saw nothing but dudes outside. So anyhow, so my buddy goes in. He's all like, "Hey, I'll be back. I'm gonna get my check." And we're like, "Are you gonna take long?" He's like, "I don't know." So we're like, "Hey, we're just gonna go into this bar right here and get a beer." And it was like happy hour. It was happy hour, so we went inside. We ordered beers, and bro. So we sit down at the bar and we're looking around, and we're like, fucking posters of fucking dudes and shit, like guys and shit like that, and we're like,
What the Smiths when you walked in? Did they have a little Morrissey going on in the background?
Nah,
See, that's
bro.
the area, bro. I'm just saying, that's the spot right there.
Actually, Duran was playing.
Oh
Nice.
wow. Duran.
Yeah, so fucking,
Interesting.
so I was
Girls
like,
on film. Boys will be boys. Will be boys. Will be boys.
yeah, bro. What's up, Becerro? So we just looked around, and I was like, bro, I think this is a gay bar. So we just downed our beers and we walked out.
Like Dumb and Dumber.
Why didn't you stay? Come on, man.
Hey, dude, it was like walking into the Blue Oyster.
Made it out safely, man, with no fucking disturbances.
It was like walking into the Blue Oyster, bro.
I give every person back then when that place opened up credit for just the courage to take that step, because we've come a long way in 20 years alone, in 10 years alone, accepting folks who have decided to come out of the closet. I mean, it is amazing to see it now. And back then, I mean, you know, if you saw your boy that you went to school with, you know, some people would not forgive that person for, you know, their choice of loving someone else, you know?
Oh, so, totally,
you know,
man.
I give them, that's a lot of courage right there, brother. A lot of courage.
I mean, from personal experience, I mean, I had family members that were afraid to come out to their families because of there's so much homophobia in the family. And I'm sitting there going like, you guys are stupid. Like, this person is genuinely in love and you're denying that from them. And they have to like struggle with this internal fucking like volcanic fucking eruption, man. And
we come from the archive generation.
You guys are not gonna
games that we didn't realize we shouldn't have been playing. Smear the what? Like now? Like come on!
Rub some dirt on
Third
it.
graders running around saying smear
you
the
guys
what?
You guys are Atari 7800, man. I'm sorry.
Atari,
dude.
Is that the first Atari?
It's 2600.
No, Atari was 2600. 7800 was right after that.
I actually had the 5200, bro.
Sorry. I had.
We're the generation when we had to start putting 2 quarters in the machine. We were pissed.
Yes.
Dad wouldn't let us play.
Yes.
Here's your 6 quarters.
How could I forget?
Spend them the way you want.
That was like the biggest. Like what? It's 50 cents. What the hell? Like.
No, we're the generation. If you see all the 80s movies, bro.
Yes.
They use all kind. Man, you can't even say half of the words they used back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh no, definitely not, man. Even what was I watching? I was watching you guys remember the movie Gotcha?
Yeah.
It was an old cheesy kind of movie, but Gotcha was kind of like a paintball thing. I forgot what it was.
It was kind of like
that's when paintball
yeah,
it was coming up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, because they had like Ski School and a bunch of other ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had all those like theme.
Dude, Ski School had George Lopez in it, bro.
Yeah.
George Lopez was
Ski
in
School
Ski School,
is
bro.
amazing. Yeah.
There's a generation that saw their first pair of boobs when they saw Airplane, and there's a generation that saw their first pair of boobs at midnight watching what's the
Benny
channel?
Hill?
USA
Oh,
channel
yeah,
with all these like what?
Or Benny Hill?
But
Benny Hill.
you know what I used to watch in the 80s on it was a KDOC. Remember Wally George?
Oh, the dude,
The
with the
older
gray hair?
white guy that
I
used
think he was
to
racist.
kick people out of it.
he was.
I don't know,
I think he
but
was
he had a
racist.
lot of hot chicks on the show, and he would just desecrate them, man. Like just belittle them and tell them they were whores and whatnot. And
He was George Likas then?
I guess so, man. Because George Likas was
What,
90.
is it George Likas or Tom Likas, bro? Tom Likas.
Yeah, Tom. There you go. He was a 95.5 guy, right?
Yeah.
LOS. Yeah.
But was he another one? He was a Me Too guy?
He was, I don't
bro.
know, but I know for a fact he was very firm on his single mother stance, how he doesn't believe that should ever happen. And people would call in and try to defend themselves, like women that were single moms. And he would just bash on them like, oh, it's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault that your child's going to grow up, messed up. And it was brutal, Frank. I don't know if you remember those. Those are really, really fuck. Like my guy in the 90s for a while was Howard Stern. That was the guy I looked up to. So
Howard Stern did an amazing job during 9/11 when he went from comedian, entertainer to strictly reporter. So
yeah,
I remember Fart Man. I remember all that, and it was fun. But it had its time. Like I'm not running to Sirius Radio to listen to Howard every day.
I'm not a serious guy. That's the thing too. But our generation too. I mean, I'm a little younger than you guys, but I'm considered what is called a xennial. You guys know what a xennial is?
You?
Like a TV, right?
I'm a xennial.
Was it one of those TVs that had like 12 channels?
That's a Zenith.
Oh, Zenith.
That's a Zenith.
Wasn't there a cable channel called ZN or Xeon or ZTV or something like that?
Yeah.
So,
Bobby, I know you.
I was young enough to grow up analog, basically, with all this non-technology advanced stuff, and then I was young enough at the same time to embrace all of it when it came out. But I never forgot all that shit I grew up with, and then watching my cousins and uncles growing up in the 80s and watching like my first Debbie Gibson video, man, and I was just like, whoa, who's this? I saw the video too, Only in My Dreams, and I just fell in love with Debbie Gibson. That was my boyhood crush, man. Boyhood crush. Yes. Yes, it was, man.
Bro, I don't know.
Renee said you're a mocoso, Edgar. It's Mr. Mocoso to you, motherfucker.
Hey, Bobby, I know you found the fountain of youth, and I know you don't have to expose it, but you're right around Edgar's age, right? Edge, you're right around his age.
I'm older.
By how? You're not older than me.
No, God, no.
Okay, good.
Frank, you would be my older brother, but not by that much. You're my 20-year-old brother.
I'm 3 years older than Edgar, bro.
Okay, so we're all the same age. We're all kind of.
Yeah, but you see, with me, I grew up with older people, so that's why.
Yeah.
I think I grew up a little bit faster.
Yeah.
If it makes sense, especially music-wise, I got introduced to like Metallica, Judas Priest, then Menudo, back in the fucking day.
Menudo was shit, man.
Dude,
Ricky Martin, right? Was he in the first? He was in the first.
No, he
Menudo?
was in the second one.
Yeah,
he was in the second one.
The first one that in the 80s was the one that we grew up with.
Yeah, bro.
Dude, that guy could pull. That guy could pull. Hey,
yeah.
I'm gonna. We're gonna go back to your story, Bobby, because I love hearing when you start talking about music. But George Michaels is the first guy that pulled the wool over my eyes. When Faith came out, I thought that dude was pulling like crazy. And he
George Michael by himself or Wham?
No, George Michael's by himself. Faith? That album?
Yeah, no, I know.
You want to talk about?
He means George Michael with a beard.
Because I got it.
Wow. Yeah, I
You wanna
remember
talk-
that song, but I discovered Wham first. That's why.
You want to talk about falling in love with or getting a crush on a girl in a music video. My God, they like bombarded us with nothing but like these amazing, gorgeous dancers and models that we had no clue who they were. And they would just surround them, all these
Rachel
musicians
Hunter
with
was
them.
my favorite. You remember Rachel Hunter?
Yeah.
Oh Lord, man. I was just like, what the fuck am I
Robert
feeling
Palmer,
right
bro.
now?
Robert Palmer had some girls too.
Simply irresistible. Yeah. I
Robert
hope Johnny's
Palmer.
still listening. Simply
Oh my
irresistible.
That is so awesome, man. Yes.
Yeah, but Prince, bro. Prince had some hot chicks, bro.
Prince. Yeah. Carmen
Yeah.
Electra. He introduced us to Carmen Electra.
Yep. He sure did. Everyone forgets that.
Yeah.
She was a Target model, bro.
Yeah.
She was a Target model.
She was a Target model.
Yeah.
Like Target,
Really?
Target? Well, she's
Yeah.
from Minnesota, though, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
She's from the
Yes.
area.
Oh,
She modeled
I
for
didn't
Target,
know that.
bro. Yeah, she modeled
As a
for
kid
Target.
or what? 16-year-old?
I don't know, but she used to do some, for their ads and shit like that.
Whoa, I had no idea. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
See, you
'Cause
gotta
I-
you gotta tune
'Cause
into
at first- No, because first
Tune
Prince
into
introduced
Ed's
her, and
podcast.
then yeah, and then I saw her in Baywatch, like not that long
Oh, yeah.
after, and that's what I was like, oh shit, yeah. And that's another thing too. It's like everyone when I say Baywatch or Mitch Buchanan, like those running jokes that we used to have back then, it kind of goes over the heads, and I have to sit down and explain exactly the origin of where the joke comes from, and then the slow motion running. And they're like, why are you doing that? And I'm like, oh shit, I forgot. I gotta explain myself here. I didn't even know that for example, David Hasselhoff is like a fucking
A singer, bro.
like a god in
He's a
Germany.
singer.
Germany.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And have you
Hasselhoff.
seen his latest music? Have you seen his latest music video he released with his metal band?
How old is he now?
It's probably like pushing 60, early 60s.
Hey, Patrick Swayze sang too, bro.
Yes.
Patrick Swayze
God,
sang.
that guy was one of my favorites, man. God rest his soul, man. That guy's amazing.
He is a god, Patrick Swayze.
Gosh.
Roadhouse.
Oh,
Point Break.
that's how I got introduced to him. Well, Point Break as
Break.
well, but Roadhouse.
Roadie? Oh.
Yeah, man. I as a kid, man. I mean, remember, I was a little youngster watching all these VHS videos because my uncle worked at a video store. He worked at Video for You in City Terrace. I never forgot that.
Wow. Hey,
And,
he's 68, bro. David Hasselhoff.
68.
Hasselhoff is 68.
68, dude.
Yeah,
Phoebe
Cates.
Cates from Fast Times. Oh my God, Alex, you're doing it, to
Dude,
me,
I
man.
was a Elizabeth Shue fan when she came out in Adventures in Babysitting, bro.
Oh,
Karate
Lord.
Kid.
That one
Karate
too.
Kid.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
dude, there's this
It's
other
funny
chick.
how Frank should bring up Karate Kid because I just finished Cobra Kai and no spoilers, but if you read stuff online, you'll know that some cast members are revisited from the previous films. But it just took me back to like how not only films are made, but the storylines are so pure, and they always had a moral behind each film. I don't know if that's forgotten now in filmmaking, but I like
Cartoons,
to
there was
remember
always a
those
moral, bro. Cartoons
I
too.
guess so. But nonetheless, man, I think that, for example, was in I want to say 89, 88. I went to King Taco on 3rd Street. We're going to talk about music here for a sec now. And on King Taco on 3rd Street, Frank, there was always this guy bootlegging cassette tapes and CDs, right? At this point, I was already kind of like playing baseball. I was trying out for quarterback at City Terrace Park and whatnot. And I look at the guy, and my mom's buying her cassette tape. She was buying like Los Bukis. She was buying ABBA. She was buying. I saw her pick up Oingo Boingo, that stuff. And then I seen like this picture of like Lady Justice with a blindfold, right? Like that. And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Metallica.
And he goes, oh, it's Metallica. And I'm like, Metallica? I'm like, what the fuck? And my mom's like, oh, no, you can't, I'm not going to buy you that. I'm like, why? She goes, oh, that's devil music. And I'm like, well, can you buy it for me? So she buys me it. I was 8 years old.
Dude,
so
my favorite Metallica song is from that album, bro.
Which one is it?
One.
Yeah, that's a damn good song, man.
I think that's kind of our whole generation was introduced to Metallica through One, through older brothers and stuff. It was just like, holy shit,
it's
this
interesting.
song.
That's how the
video.
Well, I was later Metallica.
The first Metallica song I heard was Master of Puppets.
Yeah, that too.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Master of Puppets, bro. That was the first Metallica song I heard. And that was because of my cousins.
I remember them not having any music videos, and the music video one was the first one they ever debuted.
Yeah, and I think that's one reason why it was black and white. It was very what's his name? The dude who did Fight Club. Fincher. It was very Fincher.
Fincher, yeah.
Black and white, quick cuts. The music was just pounding. Didn't know if you're watching a horror film. It was brilliant. That video
was using clips from that film, Johnny Got His Gun. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, and then I had to go watch the movie, and it's pretty fucking dark, and it was amazing. But now I knew, I'm like, oh, so this is where they got the inspiration from.
Because Injustice for All came out in 88, bro.
Yeah.
Master of Puppets came out in 86.
So this guy was bootlegging in 88 and 89. So he's just selling them.
Yeah.
So I bought that one.
Nice. They bought it for you. Your mom got it for you?
She bought me that one, and Michael Jackson's Bad.
So that was the beginning of Edge, right? The moment that you heard Metallica in your ears, it was just Edge was born.
Because like I grew up with Spanish music my whole life, and then as I started hanging out with all my Chicano friends, they were exposing me to oldies. They were exposing me to AC/DC. I got to know Art LeBeau real fucking quick, man. And then before you know it, I met the Rocker Fools, man, the long hairs, and I was like, they were more exclusive. They had a more like, oh, we're our own kind. You got those guys over there like Morrissey and the Smiths. You got the Cholos over here. You got the Jocks. But we have a tree. Like every metalhead in Boyle Heights, East LA, Northeast LA, they all had like a tree or somewhere where they can carve in like the significance of their crew. Like Morrissey heads had obviously the style. They were more clean cut. They were all about the clothing and repping Morrissey and whatnot, and a lot of the Rebels too.
They all hung out by their Volkswagen VW Bug. There's always like 4 of them with like a little rack and the Mexican blankets on the seats.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, those guys had style, bro.
Hey,
those dudes used to see. Those guys used to look at my hair as a kid and like they look at me like I was an asshole because I wasn't like pulling it all up like Morrissey. Like, that bastard has good hair and he's not doing anything with it.
And Robert, I discovered the metalheads, man, and it was hard for me because I needed to learn. I was brand new to it. I didn't know who Slayer was. I didn't know who Judas Priest was yet. I didn't know who Iron Maiden was yet. I knew like older, like Queen, AC/DC, Iron Maiden. But no, they're like, oh, have you heard of Kill 'Em All from Metallica? And I'm just like, no. They goes, oh, that's their first record.
I don't know.
You're like, I'm like, I just bought Injustice for All. No, that's their 4th record. And I'm just like, God, you guys are so fucking pretentious, man. Give me a break. I'm just getting introduced, man.
You're like, I listen to Cinderella.
No, and Frank, don't even get me started. If you got caught listening to other than metal, they would shit on you, man. Because
you were done. You weren't in that group. Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to Public Enemy. I was listening to fucking Run DMC, KRS-One, fuck you name it, man. Digital Underground.
So what did you think when you heard? What did you think
Fucking
when you
MC
heard?
Hammer. I loved MC Hammer, man.
So what did you think when Run DMC hooked up with Aerosmith?
I thought it was the
He was a
greatest thing ever.
kid. How old were you though?
Yeah,
You were
but
like
I loved
6.
it. Yeah, it was what, 85?
Maybe, yeah.
84, 80, it's something like that. But you know, my fondest memories of everything I've had as a kid was music and film. But like, fuck, man, like, and then fast forward, you know, in the 90s, that's when I got introduced to alternative rock, and that's the shit that made me go, whoa, what the fuck is this, man?
What do you mean by
this is what I think, and I know, Bobby, you can probably jump in and really like correct me, but when I was growing up, K-Rock was the alternative station, and they played Depeche Mode, they played The Cure, they played The Smiths, they played Morrissey. So in my mind, alternative rock has always been around. I know that was kind of like a British thing and an English thing, but that's the way they packaged it, marketed, and sold it to us as kids. So when Incubus came along, and you know they tried to sell us Limp Bizkit and you know quote unquote other alternatives, which is like you know the Linkin Parks and the Rage. You know, I wouldn't consider Soundgarden or Nirvana. I still consider them rock and roll. But that whole alternative title, I just feel like they just packaged these pretty bands that they didn't know what to do with, and then they kind of like just pushed them on us.
What about the Chili Peppers?
Chili Peppers have been around since the 80s. They were skate music. Like, dude, they used to have 89 concerts on half pipes. Yeah. They used to jam and like dudes were just skating. Yeah, you can find it's badass, dude.
Yeah, you can find videos on YouTube.
Way.
Yeah, bro.
They're just jamming and like there's just a bunch of skaters just skating and just having a blast with Peppers.
What? Are you fucking oh man, that's so badass, man.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, and then dude, then that was that era of skater like not just skater punk, but just skater music that I was just like, fuck, man, this is badass. Like this is extreme. I like it.
What would you consider skater music? What would you consider
back in the 90s? What I considered skater music, definitely on. I mean, that's subjective, of course. Was Primus. Primus to me was skater music because it wasn't mainstream. It wasn't very popular. It was very exclusive to a group of people, and only a select group of people knew who Primus was. Alongside with you know, I want to say like bands like even Sepultura was kind of skaterish, even though they were a metal band. But definitely
speed metal.
Korn.
Yeah, there's speed metal.
Yeah, Korn was definitely skate. I mean, a lot of people disagree, but Korn was skater fucking music, man. And then Rage Against the Machine came out, and that's what did it.
But remember, they put Rage and Tony Hawk together, and then everyone said this is skater music. When you go back to you know the Peppers, you go back to the Cure, the Beastie Boys. When I was skating, like in junior high in the 6th grade, all we listened to was the fucking Beasties, dude.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say that Beastie Boys, bro.
Yeah, even Run DMC, we listened to a lot of that. We listened to a lot of NWA and Eazy-E when we were skating and being little assholes in junior high.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
LA, I know we've
NWA, man.
Oh, dude, I know we've talked about it. LA, like you know, it's not like any other city. You know, there's other cities that are pretty diverse, but it's a melting pot. And you grew up listening to everything from like Led Zeppelin, The Doors, Huey Lewis, you know, Fresh Prince, Living Color, The Cure, Beasties, NWA, Eazy-E, Eric B. and Rakim, Boogie Down Productions. Like it just is all just one big like family. Like,
but I can see where Robert. I was actually discussing this with another buddy of mine that's from New York. He's like, now you know why we're so jealous of you guys. And I'm like, why? He said, well, not only do you guys have better weather, he goes, but you guys had a lot more, had a lot bigger bands come out of LA and just California in general. And I'm like, well, that's not necessarily true. I go, New York City had a bunch of fucking great groups, man. But New York was home to like punk rock, man, to me.
Yeah, punk. A lot of punk.
And CBGB, I never got to go to that venue, man. I'm like, CBGB's was a fucking national landmark, and now it's gone. I never got to go there, and everyone's pretty much played there. And that's not even mention of the nightclubs that I used to frequent too in the 90s and see some of the old vinyl fucking DJs, Frank, that actually would fucking like crates and crates like Robert used to do it back in the day, man. I'm just like, how do you guys do that shit? Like, I know for a while, and Robert can elaborate on this, they weren't.
You get your boys to help you out, tell them that there's going to be a lot of chicks.
Yeah, but
beer,
Robert,
right?
did you deal with that
they're going to have a keg?
Well, I wouldn't drink, so I wouldn't drink. They would drink, so I would give them my drinks.
But Robert, how would you guys be looked at? Was it some sort of prejudice from people that actually played instruments and were in bands? Like, would you guys kind of get that, like, oh, you're not a real fucking musician? You're like, well, no, I'm not a musician. I'm a music fucking disc jockey. Like, how would you deal with that type of shit or no?
No, I never got hated on, bro. Because
really?
I would respect them guys, you know, because it's hard to play an instrument, bro. Totally. I used to play the fucking clarinet. I used to play the clarinet, bro.
Ferris Bueller,
but it's hard to be a DJ.
Yeah, see, I used to play the clarinet.
Never had one lesson. Hey, I played the alto saxophone.
That's a hard instrument to play. I don't know how you did that.
It was easier than watching those boys try to play trumpet and trombone.
Forget about it, man. I stuck to percussion. I
spit everywhere,
man. Or fucking tubas, man. Robert, tubas are hard to play, man. They're so fucking hard to play.
I have the cheeks for it.
As Renee would say, pinche cachetes.
Mm-hmm.
No, so I mean, in all retrospect, I loved DJs growing up too, because I'm like, I tried doing it. I'm like, how the fuck do you do this shit? Like, even dropping the needle in the right groove of the vinyl to find the spot. Like, how, I don't know how you guys would do that, Robert. Like, actually find where you're supposed to drop, like, perfectly in hindsight, man. Just there.
You just get used to it, bro. Practice.
Like, I know it's repetition and practice makes perfect, just like playing an instrument. That's what, like, you know, I see the youngsters now trying to be DJs, and they're trying to revisit what it used to be like doing vinyl. And just like, what is it, like an appreciation class you guys are doing, or what the fuck?
No, you get a lot of hipsters, like a lot of hipster DJs that do that, bro.
Yeah. And I'm like, you really don't need to. I mean, but then again, is it necessary, or is it just a labor of love type of shit that they're doing?
It's just they want to be unique, I guess.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. You know,
I mean, is it completely necessary?
No.
Do you think? No, right?
No. I respect it. Don't get me wrong. Because you have to look through records. You know, you got to, you know, with the laptop, it's just right there, bro. You know, so
wow, that's so crazy.
It's easy.
Like, I never thought I would hear an original vinyl DJ say, "Hey, fuck that! I'd rather just have my laptop."
Dude, do you want a phone on the wall at home so you can take messages? Hey, mom, who called me? Or do you want it in your pocket so they can call you direct?
Mom, meatloaf.
You want a pager so you can go to a payphone, or you want your cell phone so you can do your PH hub and all the other stuff, and then still, you know, find a date that night.
Please don't tell me you guys had pagers, man.
Hey,
of course we did. Yeah.
Or do you want to carry a whole bunch of equipment, bro?
Yeah, man. No, it's the equivalent of being in the studio and doing reel-to-reel tape recording, which is another labor of love. But it's like, no, man, I can do this with just digital gear, and I can make it sound close to what it would be to that, and it's less expensive.
Yeah.
And right now, you know, we're talking about technology. Now you have the phase needles. Like, it's just looks like a little cartridge. And it looks like
really?
It looks like a
phase needle.
Like a little, oh my god, like a little pocket. What do you call them? Oh my god, a flash drive.
Thumb drive?
Yeah.
Oh no
shit. It looks like that. And then you put it on the, like, where the needle, where the in the middle of the fucking turntable, and you don't need the needle now, bro. Just with that. And they're called phase.
So,
yeah, phase.
So you don't need the album. You just put the fade or the phase.
It's called phase.
The phase on the turntable as it's moving, and then you can play from there.
Yeah, you don't even need the fucking needle now, bro.
What?
Yeah. Yeah,
whoa,
they're called
that is crazy.
phase needles, PHASE. So yeah,
I wonder how that works. That's interesting. I never heard of these before.
I'll send you the link, bro. I'll send you the link.
Sensors.
Yeah, when other DJs tried it out, they're like, "Whoa, fuck," you know.
Yeah. And so Bobby, you're scratching off your laptop though, right? Because the music's coming off the laptop. It's connected to.
No, it's reading whatever the laptop has.
Yeah. And the turntable's pretending to be a record. Wow.
Yeah. You could actually lift up the record and have the phase on it and scratch on like midair.
No fucking shit.
Yeah.
It's
they went to NAMM, I think 2 years ago to present it.
Oh, I think I did see the booth, but I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah, they went to NAMM to present it, bro. Like 2 years ago.
Wow.
So Robert, 10 years ago, you really couldn't scratch, right? With playing your music off your laptop and not having a turntable or vinyl, you can still scratch?
Yeah. Yeah, you can scratch.
When did that technology transfer from actual vinyl to your laptop? A couple of years into you guys using laptops to actually be able to scratch?
Serato, let me fuck. When did it? Because I was really
Serato debuted around 2004.
Bro, I was skeptical to get a laptop at Serato. I was like, oh, I'm still gonna play on CDs. Yeah, like, you know, just like some guys were like, I don't want to play it, and that's how I was with I was like, oh, I'm gonna stick to vinyl. I'm not gonna play CDs, but it was so much easier, bro. The convenience.
Really?
CDs. I couldn't imagine playing music like DJing on CDs.
It's easy.
I still like CDs, man. They're pretty badass.
Yeah, but
I can't hate on them.
But as a DJ, wasn't there like, could you stop the CD and go to the next one, like midway through, kind of fade in from one song to the next?
Yeah, it's just like records, bro. It was just like records, but it was just on a CD. I'm trying to see when Serato came about right now.
You know what that's the equivalent of, Frank? We have like guitar players, for example, and Rod and all the other guys can elaborate on this shit. There's different like pedal boards and stuff you can connect to your guitar that allow your guitar to tune down, in different notes, different octaves, and different steps without having to twist the knobs, the tuning knobs.
Wow.
It is the strangest fucking thing. And, that's how you get like the newer, like deep, like kind of metal type of sound without having the flap of the strings, because you have to customize these guitars to endure that low of a tuning, because it's kind of like a bass guitar at this point. Yeah. But just the simple fact that this technology exists to make your electric guitar sound like a sitar, for example, that alone, that technology just blows my fucking mind. I've seen sitars, I've seen whale sounds. Like, I mean, props to the guy who kind of started all that shit was Tom Morello, and that was kind of the inspiration for a lot of us. But he did it in such a manual way, kind of like a DJ. Like, for example, I'll give you one of my biggest inspirations growing up besides rock and roll. His name was DJ Qbert. Do you remember Qbert?
Yeah, the Asian guy.
Yeah, DJ Qbert was he used to hack sounds. And hack is, obviously a very derogatory term. I don't know why it's used, but hack is basically reverse engineer. And he got in trouble for using samples that were kind of like, I guess, also reverse engineered, and they discovered, oh wait, this is a sample that he manipulated. That's why the digital Millennium Copyright Act was enacted because of stuff like that. Because it's like, say you take a picture, right, and someone's licensed it, but you can remix the picture, right, and make it your own. But the subjective part is, should you be making money off of something that you reverse engineered? Now that's of course that's left up to interpretation, right?
Bro, everyone
say,
does
for
that.
example-
Graphic designers do that, bro.
Yes,
Graphic designers do it a lot.
Bro, I remember
Yeah.
a buddy of mine. He was really good at it, and I had an issue, like a problem with the design. He's all like, "Bro, you don't have to reinvent the wheel; just modify it, change it to your style."
right.
I was like, "Oh,
Well, of course. I mean, because Frank, you know as well as I do, man, it's so difficult to be original nowadays because a lot of ground has been covered in general, just with creativity and as a whole. So do you piggyback off of something else that's been created and then just kind of make it your own? Like, for example, I'll use film, for example. I think every type of story has been covered, if you ask me. I mean, the possibilities for writing, I know, are also, limited to an extent, but how many more horror films can you write? How many more thrillers? Okay, at this point, it's like, how do you actually make it original in your own, but with a different sequence of events, different pace, different patterns? Same thing with a song. Like, if you're gonna remake it, you got to make it your own. But the song sounds familiar. It comes from someone else. But now, like, I'll give you an example, Frank. You ever heard "Turn the Page" by Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band? Have you heard Metallica's version?
I think so.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's Metallica doing a version of an old song, but it's Metallica doing it. That's the beauty of it. And then props to Rage Against the Machine with the whole Renegades album. Have you heard the Renegades album, Robert?
yeah."
Dude, they do a Mac 10 cover, Pistol Grip Pump.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, man. I was ready to fucking rob a liquor store after listening to that shit, man. I was like, oh, fuck. It just hits, man. I'm just like, how do you do that? That's to me, that's true reverse engineering, as Robert was explaining with a graphic designer.
Dude, and you know what? You know who got? I don't know if he settled, but they were suing Ed Sheeran.
Yes.
Marvin, was it Marvin Gaye or Al Green? One of those.
No, I think it was Marvin Gaye. Yeah. So I know Nicki Minaj just settled with Tracy Chapman, for example.
Oh, really?
What song is that?
then-
I keep seeing the headlines.
Oh, shit.
What did
It
she take
was,
from Tracy?
Oof. It was.
I don't know.
let's see, Tracy Chapman.
I
Nicki
don't
Minaj,
know
this
enough
song
Tracy
was-
Chapman to know, but I know more Tracy Chapman than Nicki Minaj. Unless she's
Totally.
actually with Kanye, I have no clue what she's doing. The pitter patter and the P dub or whatever she's been slanging lately.
So it's Baby Can I Hold You, which is the song, and the copyright lawsuit was for $450,000.
And it's an old Tracy Chapman song, huh?
Yes, it's Minaj makes an offer for illicitly. Yes, illicitly. She basically said, "Fuck, I'm just going to use it," asking permission.
But is it
for
her? So
you,
here's my
Baby Can I
question.
Hold You.
Here's my question to you guys, because I had the same conversation with my girlfriend earlier this week. Is it her or the producers making these decisions
I think it's both.
about taking and stealing these songs without getting permission?
I think it's both.
The way I've seen it work in the past, Frank, is usually the producer presents the idea.
Yeah.
And the artist is okay with it because they're like, okay, well, my people are going to handle all that shit. Like, the artist feels covered, like their grounds are covered, especially at a level like Nicki Minaj, for example.
They're ready to pay
you know,
whatever
so
money
they're
it's going to
gonna
take
have
to
it.
get
Yeah.
that out. Yeah.
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 Like
makes
same thing
sense.
with Robin, with Robin
Blurred
Thicke.
lines. Yeah, with blurred
Yeah.
lines.
I mean, that was Pharrell, man.
Yeah,
I'm
Blurred
like, out
Lines,
of
bro.
all fucking people, but I know Pharrell means well, man. That's one of my biggest. The Neptunes was one of my biggest, musical inspirations too to create. And
But they
that
weren't they like
kind of broke my heart.
weren't they like but weren't they DJs that like knew how to like take someone's music and song and enhance it and make it better and
Yeah.
clean it up and like give
Yes.
their version of it?
Yes, that's the reverse engineering part that I'm explaining, and sometimes, Frank, it does backfire, because it's not like like Foo Fighters, covering Darling Nikki,
It's
right?
different.
Prince. Yeah, it's not like that. Like it's a Prince song, but it's the Foo Fighters. But when you have an actual a full on production of a song, especially when it's a pop song, then there's a lot of red tape. I mean, Robert can also elaborate on this when, say, for example, you bring in a sample, right? And I forgot who. Biggest example is Queen and
Biggest
David
example
Bowie.
ever. Yes.
And Rob Van Winkle went on record to say, "Oh no, it's not the same. It's not the same because there's one more note that he added." It's like exactly
Trump
exactly.
Van Winkle. Trump Van Winkle.
Yes. It's like, come on, man, fucking Florida man strikes again, man. Florida man. But it's like, oh shit, Boris, look at this.
Oh, look at that.
God.
Suave Cerro.
Boris just tuned in just in the right time. We're talking about music.
Imitation is the best form of flattery.
Well, remember
Exactly.
MC Hammer? He sampled Rick James, bro.
Exactly.
But I don't think. But it goes back. I mean, not to take anything away from MC Hammer, and we know his story. A producer sat back and said, "Hey, was it Henry? What's his real name? Aaron? What? I can't remember Hammer's real name.
MC Hammer's real name?
Yeah, we should get that to everyone before this is up.
Stanley. Stanley was his
Stanley.
name.
Hey, Stanley, I got an idea. Do you remember Rick James? I remember Rick James.
Yeah, but he
No,
did pay.
this
Didn't he
question.
pay? He did pay. Rick
He had
James.
to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he had to.
Robert, Frank, let me ask you guys this question. And again, this is subjective, and I want both of you guys' opinion. Give me that one song that you guys know that is clearly sampled and it's clearly like, it was cleared, it's legit. That's one song that was sampled, and to this day, it's a fucking timeless hit. Give me one. What's the first one that pops up?
It Takes Two.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, they sampled James Brown, bro.
James Brown.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mine is was it P. Diddy's
P.
Missing
Diddy
You.
everything, bro. P. Diddy.
Yeah, P. Diddy.
He sampled The Police.
You know that the Police version, it's actually about a stalker.
Shut the
What's-
fuck up.
Yeah, but what's the song though?
Whoa.
Remind me. I know it. Every Step You Take? Is it Every Step You Take?
Yeah,
Yeah.
is it
Yeah.
It's every step you take. And then the
No, is it
P. Diddy
every breath
versions.
you take? Is it it's every breath you take?
Every
yeah.
breath.
Yeah,
That's the
Every
one
move
they
you make?
sampled, Yeah.
I'll be watching
I'll
you.
be watching you. I
Yeah,
thought it was
but-
a romantic ass song and it's about a stalker, man.
it's about
What
a stalker,
the
bro.
fuck?
Dude, the 80s, bro. The 80s. The 80s were about crazy white people fucking with other white people.
Oh my god!
No,
But
dude.
we had our own crazy Chicano Mexican.
Hey,
And
bro,
yeah, I hate to put this Netflix
was-
thing on blast, but it's already out. Night Stalker.
yeah, no, but it's true
Yeah,
about I would play a happy hour at Suede, and it's eclectic. You get all Mexicans, blacks, whites, whatever.
Yeah.
But whenever there was this certain a valet driver that was there, white boy, and I remember the first time he heard me play 80s, bro. He came in just jamming. I was playing Falco. I was playing Falco, bro. And he came in like jamming, bro. And he's all like, man, he's all like, yeah, he was like jamming, and then he's all like, bro, I remember going to Venice Beach, getting all coked out to the song.
Venice, Coke, and white people? Problems.
Dude, Falco was an Austrian singer, right? He was
I
from
think
Germany.
so.
All that. Well, Austria. He was from there.
Yeah, but I remember he came in
crazy.
like that. He was just jamming. He's all like, dude.
Oh,
This reminds me when I used to be at the beach getting coked out with my boys. So I was like, holy shit.
Like he was like the white dude from Martin.
Oh my
Like that guy. Like that guy, bro.
Oh my god, man, that's so fucking crazy. No, the other thing about especially like late 80s music, for example, going into the 90s, for some reason there was like a small gap. A lot of that shit was happening. People were sampling stuff. Obviously there was a style that accompanied it too, a fashion. But the one thing that stuck out is like, for example, Arsenio Hall had Vanilla Ice on his show and just completely fucking just try to roast him, but you could tell he didn't like it. He didn't like him. And I never really knew why, but then later I was like, oh, okay, so that's why Arsenio Hall was like, no, fuck this guy. This guy's literally making a profit off of a song that has been already capitalized on, and it's actually an awesome song. I'm not saying that Ice Ice Baby is a shit song, because it's not. But
I don't care who you are. Everyone knows the lyrics, bro. Everyone knows the lyrics.
I like his rock version better. I don't know if you guys have heard it.
Which one?
Remember he came out with a rock album, like a rock version of that song, and he had one that produced it was Ross Robinson, who produced the first two Korn albums.
Have you heard the White Lines rock Duran Duran version?
What?
Yeah, White Lines.
White Lines?
Mm-hmm.
In the background, just dropped in the back. White Lines on anything is brilliant. Spike Lee uses it in the 25th Hour in like one of the scenes at the club, and it's just like dropped, and it's fucking genius. And if you can find it, you're just like, dude, it's.
Have you seen the movie Chef?
Oh yeah, they use it really good too.
Yeah, they
use
it
in the movie Chef.
They use an instrumental.
Instrumental though, instrumental. But
they use a Wu-Tang instrumental too in that film. That's fucking brilliant. Cash Rules Everything Around Me, and I think it's on piano.
Cream. They use Cream instrumental?
Yeah.
Whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I have not known about this. Okay.
Favreau's a genius, man. Favreau's a genius.
Ooh.
It's funny because my boy Chino and I, we were just talking about that. He's been involved in so many things, bro. But he's been like kind of low key about it.
Yeah.
Like people don't really talk about it.
Who, Favreau?
Really?
Yeah. Like the regular people, like the common movie fan. You know what I mean?
What was this?
Yeah.
What was that Sofia Vergara thing?
Sofia Vergara
came out in yeah, she did. She came out. She was Favreau's wife. Yeah, she was Favreau's wife.
She's the ex-wife. Yeah.
No shit.
Dude, you haven't seen that movie?
No.
And you watched Cobra Kai and Chef Edge?
Yeah,
fuck,
dude.
Man. I mean, it's probably one that kind of passed me.
Hey, do me a favor, Edgar. Do me a favor.
It's on Netflix.
Get off this podcast and go watch it while Frank and I catch up.
I'm having a good time.
I'm having a good time. Because
wow.
shit, it grossed 11 million.
Did you like that, Bobby?
I saw that.
Whoa.
I should have.
I bought this. I bought this for the Bills and Bears game this past weekend, and clearly the Bears suck. But I had a couple left. Had to drink some hands.
Were you wearing your Gale Sayers jersey? Since we're old.
The Jim McMahon hit.
No, we're archived. We're archived.
Yeah, we're archived.
I'm not gonna let you guys. Not let
my favorite. My favorite. What is the Vanilla Ice song? What's the name of the song? Ice Ice Baby. Ice Baby.
Yeah.
It is used the greatest way ever in That's My Boy, Adam Sandler's film with with Sandberg.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I still play it, bro. I still play it.
Ice Ice Baby.
Yeah,
dude. What about Milli Vanilli? I know Christina fucking just brought it up right now. That was the biggest fucking God, man. That was like a tragedy for a lot of people because they
No,
were
He killed
worshipped.
himself. The guy killed himself.
Yeah, I know.
like,
He just
10 years
committed
later,
like
15
maybe
years
like
later.
10 years.
Oh, no
Yeah.
way. I didn't.
Yeah, he
killed himself.
committed
He
suicide.
just hard life, man. It was a great song, great album. It was fun. It was Paula Abdul and Jackson and Milli Vanilli. You know, they led into Belle Biv DeVoe and all this great music back then. And, you know, unfortunately. But that's not there was another, wasn't there a song that Prince did that the girl was too heavy? Or the Stones, right? The girl was too heavy. So they put like this like hot blonde out there or something like that. And the girl who actually sang it was like overweight. Yeah.
What?
Satisfaction or something like that, right?
No.
Yeah, I heard. I remember that.
There's a documentary about it. Yeah.
I don't remember the singer though.
Oh shit.
Yeah. They've been doing that forever,
That's
man.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Jesus Christ. That's so weird that they would do that. It's
Sad
like
is what it is.
Well, that reminds me of all the rabbit hole, the conspiracy rabbit holes I would get into with Paul McCartney supposedly dying in a car accident and they replaced him with a lookalike. Did you ever hear about that?
Is that why his wife only has one leg?
Is that a true story?
Yeah, she only has one leg, dude. That was a big thing on.
It was his ex-wife. He paid her off like.
Yeah, she was on Dancing with the Stars.
Know that,
and that was like the big thing. She only had one leg.
She said, "I'll give my fucking left leg if I could have him back."
Hey, Ed, you got to hang out with us with the archive crew a little bit more. Yeah. Huh?
Well, no, I mean, also the other rabbit hole I went into was the John Lennon rabbit hole that apparently the CIA was the one that fucking found. The CIA is the one that they found the fall guy, and the fall guy was that guy that I guess he took a picture with before that, which is kind of coincidental. I'm like, okay, you took a picture with the guy, and that's the same.
You mean the guy who killed him?
Yeah, that's just strange to me. I mean, that's just my imagination running wild. But I'm just like, why those people that were making basically like timeless hits, not just hits, but timeless like enchantments of
like Jimi Hendrix.
Well, yeah. Jimmy killed himself though.
Like
Jimmy killed himself.
Kurt Cobain.
He killed himself. Well,
it's subjective because of fuck, man. Oh my god, Abel, what's up, dude?
Abel Perez?
Oh my god. I used to love drinking with Abel. Dang, what's up, brother? No, so it's subjective. I have a theory that I don't think Courtney herself was the one that fucking helped him, you know, high as fuck, trying to get the shotgun right to his head. I think he was assisted, if you ask me, and then they did a genius job of covering it up.
Bro, she hooked up with homeboy from Smashing Pumpkins, bro. That's why he was all
Billy Corgan.
Yeah, that's why he was all broken.
That relationship,
he was broken, but that added on to it.
Look at Boris. Supposedly, John Lennon was funding guerrilleros in Cuba, so the CIA took him out. Supuestamente, supposedly. Oh,
in the 80s, though. Yeah. But in the 80s, oh. I honestly think white people were a little too gun crazy in the 80s. That's why Reagan got shot, and that's why they killed John Lennon. And I mean, they were able to start getting guns at home. They didn't know what to do with them, and unfortunately,
Reaganomics. and then the drugs, man.
Trickle down effect.
Yeah, the
cocaine,
drugs just boom,
cocaine,
man. Crack,
guns.
Yep.
And MAGA.
Suburban
He's the one
life?
that originated MAGA, bro. He originated MAGA, bro. That
I forget.
Yeah, because
Trump got it from him. He was a douchebag with the media too. I forget. I remember seeing some of that stuff too.
He was an actor.
Yeah,
an actor.
Yeah.
Reagan was the
vice
one
president.
that started.
Jerry Lewis.
Oh, nice Back to the Future reference.
You got you.
El Duce from The Mentors gave up Courtney, then he got killed. What?
He was toxic.
No.
You think so?
Courtney did
I think so.
Yeah.
I think she paid
Yeah, I
someone to
think-
do it.
Now, let me ask you guys this
I don't
question.
know.
I mean, I'm not saying that she wasn't talented at all, but somewhat. You think the first record that came the first whole record, you think Kurt wrote all those songs?
Oh, Make
I
Me
wasn't a-
Over?
I wasn't a
Yeah.
fan, bro, to be honest with you.
Really? I mean, I wasn't
really a
either,
fan.
but I was kind of like, oh, well, that's Kurt Cobain's girlfriend. I'll give it a fucking try. But
I'll take a gander.
yeah, I mean, lived through this in 1994. That's the one that came out, and by then Nirvana was already established. Nevermind had already debuted and whatnot.
Yeah.
And if you listen to these songs on that whole album, it sounds like Nirvana songs, man. They do.
I didn't mind Hole back then, but MTV sold it to us. So in my mind, that was already a band that was set up, ready to go. No, I'm serious. It was a band that was set up, ready to go to sell to us, and that trickled down to so many bands in the '90s and early 2000s. If they didn't have a music video, if they weren't on Carson Daly's show, and they weren't getting the 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. slots, we didn't know who they were.
Yeah.
So
it's funny because you remember TRL, right, Robert?
Yeah.
They had and it's like, for example, I think the record for consecutive weeks on number one was actually Korn's "Freak on a Leash."
That's a good song.
It
not
literally
Britney
broke
Spears?
records.
Oops, I did it again.
No, actually, she was like number 3 or 4. Number 2 was In Sync. Bye Bye Bye.
Was Carson Daly on TRL at that time?
Yes. Yeah. He was dating Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Nice. Hey, he came
was
from K-Rock, bro. He came from K-Rock.
Yeah, he came from K-Rock.
Yep.
Yeah. He didn't finish
He did,
school.
man.
He was at a junior college in the Valley, and then his job at K-Rock, and the rest is history. Now he's in the mornings with all the archival people watching. What is that? What's the morning show on Channel 4?
Was it Good Morning America?
Oh, on Channel 4? Good Day LA? No.
Good Day
No,
LA?
that's Channel
know.
11.
The Today Show?
Yeah.
I think it's the Today Show because Good Morning America is on CBS, I think.
Yeah.
And Jennifer Love Hewitt is, I believe she's on Hallmark movies, Christmas Hallmark movies once a year. Or twice.
Really?
Wow, really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. Hallmark is big,
movie
man.
star.
It's big.
Hey, but K-Rock
man.
also had Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
And then they had
Jimmy the sports guy, right?
Corolla.
Matt Money.
They had
Adam Carolla.
They had Adam Carolla.
Yeah.
They had Kevin and Bean until they fucked that up.
Yeah.
Man, it started with the Lisa May thing, and then it just fucking fell from there because Lisa May would do Traffic and then do the morning show with him.
And then it was Ralph Garman.
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
Ralph Garman got fired
man.
for no reason.
And I heard that
Lisa
live
May's
and
weird, man.
breaking down. Yeah.
Lisa May went on some random Twitter beef bullshit with people, and I was one of them that she kind of sent me stupid shit when the Red Sox won the World Series or when they beat the last time they won the World Series and they beat the Yankees. I think I sent something out to one of her feeds, and then she attacked big time.
Really?
Yeah, she's
wow.
She has things she needs to deal with, and I'm just like, whatever.
Well, before I discovered
the first
K-Rock,
reason why I stopped listening to K-Rock. Huh?
Yeah, I remember I discovered Brick D's in the morning. You guys remember that shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin and B used to shit on him all the time.
Yeah, and I'm like switching back and forth, going, "Wait, these guys are talking shit about each other. This is interesting." And Rick D's had that co-host, the chick that came out in Playboy magazine. What was her name? Blonde. I forgot her name. She was. I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" And then going back and forth.
Deborah Harry came out on Playboy, bro. Before she was in Blondie. Yep.
They're all on Blondie, bro. All those girls are on KLOS, and there's another station that I find them on, and I'm just like, huh, okay.
I don't listen to KLOS anymore, bro. You know what? I listen to K Earth now, bro.
K Earth 101.
What are you doing? You're listening to No Doubt and Outkast
in the morning, bro. So,
Sublime.
My K, hey dude, my K Earth moment. I was working at a buddy of mine. He had the radio on, and this is when I was like, "Fuck, I'm getting old." He's listening to K Earth, and the fucking Cure comes out on K Earth at that time, and I was like, "Why is it on K Earth?" K Earth used to play the Beach Boys, all that shit.
Yeah,
and there was this one day at work, and we were listening to the radio, and then the Cure came out. I go, "What station is that?" He's all K Earth. I was like, "That's it. I'm old."
Wow.
Yeah, but the Cure
Cure's been around since. They've been around since
79, right? 78,
yes.
Yeah. So technically, they kind of fall in that line. It's when they started playing No Doubt, Sublime, Outkast, NSYNC.
That's my secret shame song is from NSYNC, bro.
What is it?
Gone.
That's your song?
It's my secret shame song, bro.
Jack FM, bro.
What's Jack FM? What dial is that?
You don't know what Jack FM is?
93.1.
I know, but what station? 93.1. There you go. Yeah. What was 93.1 before? Was it? It was like a classic rock station. Remember?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
Because I remember Pirate Radio was 100.3 back in the day.
Pirate Radio was 105.5.
KNAC.
Yeah, exactly.
Hard rock. Yeah.
KLOS has still been around. 95. Remember Mark and Brian?
I used to listen to them.
No, Mark and Brian was like not our archive generation. That's the other archive generation, Ed. Like, that was what my uncle and my aunt and my dad listened to. I was not. If I was listening to Mark and Brian, then I was sipping coffee at 16, bro. That's not gonna happen.
Hey, I would listen to them.
God, man.
I would listen to them.
No, and what was the other one?
I didn't get some of the references because it was old as hell, but
they were older.
Yeah, they're older.
You remember Star 98.7?
Yeah. They had
was kind of like a top 40 fucking station.
Whatchamacallit came from there? Brian Seacrest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Christina's like, what was the guy's name who had a deep voice?
Theo.
Oh, Theo.
92.3 The Beat? Dude, that's legendary.
Yes.
So, yeah, Theo. The
Filipino community doesn't get enough respect, bro. The Filipino community needs more respect. Like, they've been deep in LA for a really long time, and they need the respect. Yeah.
I befriended tons of them in Alhambra, man. Tons. And it was funny because Filipino culture is very similar to Mexican culture too.
It is.
And very similar.
They're half their last names are Sanchez. So I mean, come on.
No,
the Spanish destroyed. The Spanish destroyed islands left and right.
Yeah. I've seen Salas,
Rodriguez.
I've seen Hernandez, Rodriguez, Ledezma. Yeah. I've seen what's the other one? Hernando. I didn't know Hernando was like different. I'm like, what? And it's crazy, but in the same token, I'm just like, you know who really put Filipinos on the map, man? My opinion was Manny Pacquiao.
Well, yeah.
He was single-handedly the one that said, yeah, Filipinos are badass, and this is why.
He exposed the Filipino community to Middle America and the South, and like the Upper East Side.
Yeah, and that's how a lot of people like just
I thought Rufio
got to know them. Rufio, oh shit, from Hook. Yeah, it's funny. We should talk about. Oh my God! I was actually, before you jumped on initially, Frank. I remember I was talking to Robert about Julio Cesar Chavez.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of segueing into sports here. I remember vividly after what fight was it, Robert? You said
Frankie Randall.
when he fought Frankie Randall and he lost, right?
Yeah, he lost.
This was towards the end of his career, then, right?
Yeah, it was his
Don
first loss.
Yeah, Don King was the promoter. And
when he went with
went
Don King,
from-
it all went downhill. It all went downhill.
Yes.
Don King fucking
Yes.
ruined him.
Yeah, but
He
it
went
was,
from Don King my father to Don King's
I
on fuck
remember that.
you.
yeah, bro.
Yes, and I'm just like,
remember that.
whoa, what the fuck? But I mean, those are timeless fucking sports moments. I mean, when it comes to sports moments, I mean, don't get me started on 80s sports moments because I was there for game 1, 88 series for the Gibson home run, but I was in left field pavilion where basically
Right.
all the working
Doesn't
class.
matter. You're at the game. Doesn't matter. You're at the game.
But let me
You're at the
just
game.
describe this feeling because I have a very very blurred memory of that day because I remember being terrified of the roar of the crowd during the fucking home run because I didn't understand. I never felt anything like that before.
You were
Because
like,
obviously
what,
that was
six?
I was
6, 7 years
7.
old?
I was 7 and
yeah.
I was already like 5'10". So and yeah, and I was like, fuck, man. Like you could feel like the rumble, the roar of the crowd inside your chest. And I was just like kind of freaked out. I thought I was going to have like some kind of panic attack. But my mom's boyfriend at the time that, now runs Cielito Lindo on Olvera Street, was like happy having, I'm like, okay, I'm happy too, but I couldn't control like what was happening in my body. I guess it was like a rush of adrenaline.
You were scared.
You're 7 years old. Like you're developing as you're watching one of the greatest baseball games ever. Your body's still developing. Your mind's developing.
It was euphoria, bro. It was euphoria.
Yeah.
It was crazy because all I remember besides that moment was I ate like 2 or 3 Dodger dogs back when they were fucking legit, man. And they were just full of relish, onion, mustard. I was never a guy to put ketchup on my hot dogs.
I was gonna say, if you say ketchup, bro,
no, never,
respect,
man.
bro.
Never.
Do you put ketchup on anything though? I don't put ketchup on shit.
Honestly,
I don't even use it for fries. No.
Just onion rings.
Really? Onion rings?
Yeah.
I like
Just
blue
onion
cheese or ranch on onion rings.
I've been
Just
using
onion.
kimchi and kimchi mayo.
I seen
Damn, that
people
sounds
eat.
good.
I seen people eat their fries with mayonnaise.
Yeah.
That's
The
not
French,
bad.
the English,
Yeah.
I seen
fish and
that.
chips.
But going
So
back
have you
to
guys seen?
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
All right, but going back to the way you felt, the loudest, for me it was Lakers versus Suns when Kobe hit that game winner. Yeah, when he did the whole. I was at that game, bro.
Oh, he pulled his chest and showed his heart.
Yeah, bro. I
Number
was there
2
with,
GOAT, greatest Laker ever.
I think.
Who's
so.
this guy that's running around winning championships for you guys right now? That
LBJ.
everyone is they apparently if he wins another title, he's the GOAT. Who's that guy?
Lurban James.
That's the kid out of
Lurban.
Cleveland, right? When we were watching all those Laker championships with Shaq and Kobe and Ori and Fisher. The kid out of Cleveland, right? That the Pistons owned and the Celtics owned. All that kid, right?
Oh my God, man! How could I forget about that?
Hey, but he was by himself when he played them. He really didn't have a.
I don't know. Look at
He
that.
had
Look
no
at that
supporting
team
cast.
again. No, they
And
had
that's like me telling you, look at Mike. He didn't do it by himself. He needed Pippen.
Mikey Jordan.
Yep.
Mikey Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
He could have had.
I remember.
He could have had the Houston Rockets of 95 and 96, and he would have won 2 more titles.
Bro,
That's
he
how
had Charles Oakley. And
he got rid of. They got rid of.
Insane.
The owner did not like Charles Oakley, and then he ended up playing in New York.
They got him because they needed a center, so they got Cartwright for him.
Yeah.
And him and Oakley were like,
right.
Yeah, they're
him and
still.
Oakley were tight.
Yeah,
Let me go
still
back to. Let's go back to that Dodger game because we just lost Tommy, and Vin lost his wife, and Vin better stick around because we need to see him for the next few years because we definitely need Vin.
We do, man.
Positivity that man is amazing. There's a documentary that I saw on MLB television or MLB TV that shows that Vin Scully was the one person who was able to manipulate getting Kirk Gibson into that game as he was calling the broadcast. He told the producers to follow his lead. He kept saying, Gibby's in the back. Gibby's not there. Look at the dugout. Gibby's not there. And that's when Gibby was in the back. Gibby was on his bike in the back, watching the broadcast, listening to Scully. Scully kept mentioning Gibby. Gibby finally tells one of the ball boys or whatever, tell Tommy I'm ready. And that's when Tommy said, all right, let's bring him in. Let's put him in the game to make that hit.
That was good hype, man, bro.
Shit.
Yeah.
That was good.
Fucking Scully. That's Scully's win right there. And Scully, that is one of those things where Scully was so smart and he'd already seen so much baseball, like so much history. Totally. He knew exactly how to make that moment happen.
I had
Vin
no
for the
idea,
win.
and I was
Vin
there for that as a kid.
And you know how you're talking about Vin Scully, and you wearing that Michael Jordan shirt. You know he's part of that Medal of Freedom class with Michael Jordan.
Really?
Vin Scully?
Yeah. It's Vin Scully, Michael Jordan was in it, Robert De Niro.
Wow.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
but he didn't go.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Tom Hanks, Ellen DeGeneres. Right. They had like Bill Gates and his wife. They had that was a good class right there. Robert Redford, the natural. Robert Redford, bro.
The natural.
Oh man, yes.
Yeah. You mean the Sundance Kid?
Yeah, you go.
I like him more as a natural, bro.
I'm a Sundance guy.
Well, maybe because I'm a baseball guy, bro. That's why.
Yeah, The Natural's not in my top 5 baseball movies, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Hey, I have my top 5. I have a League of Their Own in my.
I love League of Their Own. League of Their Own, man.
Who's the best baseball player / actor ever?
Fuck. That's a good one. I'm going to say Charlie Sheen.
Nah, he got pounded. He got pounded by New York.
Wild Thing?
I don't know if he could even throw the ball. Wild Thing?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure he did.
I'm going to put it out there, and I know you guys can do the research. Kevin Costner.
Oh, yeah, when he played for the Tigers, bro.
Man. Yeah, of course.
Wait, For the Love of the Game? Kevin Costner or
The Love of the Game?
Or Bull Durham?
For Bull Durham? For Field of Dreams? I think he played at Fullerton, too, for 1 year.
No, he did. He played at CSUF. Yeah, he did. I don't know for how long, but he was a natural fucking athlete, too.
Yeah.
I heard a rumor, too, that yes. You took the words right out of my mouth.
That's why Magnum made the movie in Japan when he made the baseball movie in Japan.
Yeah, exactly. But I heard Charlie was a pretty decent baseball player too. I mean, he wasn't batting fucking 300, but he can. Charlie Sheen, he was a decent athlete. I mean, the whole the Estevez family, they were pretty athletic, man. I know Emilio was pretty athletic.
They were all born with the spoon in their mouth. They were born with spoons in their mouth.
Of course. I mean, well, hold on. Armando said Freddie Prinze Jr.
Oh, really?
He played. Yes. He was a pitcher in that baseball movie. What's it called?
Yeah, Summer Catch.
Summer Catch with
Jessica Biel.
God damn, when she comes out of the pool, all I see is.
Do that again? What? When she comes out of the what?
She comes out of the pool. It's like. I'm just like, what am I watching, man?
Dude.
I'm like, it's getting hot in here.
Take it full circle. See Justin Timberlake, Jessica Biel.
Yeah, so all right, Frank, what's your top sport? For me, it's baseball. A lot of people say, it's boring. I tell them, dude, it's a chess game. Baseball.
Sports? Yeah, baseball. Baseball is my favorite sport of all time.
Really?
Basketball's
Number
second.
one?
Yeah.
Mine is football. It's baseball, football.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mine's
think
basketball. I love
Dude.
that game. I think basketball is poetic. I think basketball is ballet. It's sometimes it could be Shakespeare. I mean, look what the fuck's happening in Brooklyn right now.
Oh
But
God!
baseball's
dude,
the same way.
how can three egos like that coexist? Is my question. But well, we're gonna.
But we've
find
said
out.
that before, though. We've said that
Yeah.
before.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
We said that in
baseball,
Miami. We said that in Boston. We've said
Yeah.
that before.
but Edgar, Frank and I, we went to one of the best fucking baseball games. World Baseball Classic. Remember, Frankie? We're in San
Yeah.
Diego.
Oh, you guys went to
Dude.
the World Baseball Classic?
In San Diego,
The,
bro.
the
Yeah.
Adam Jones home run, Machado,
Oh.
Yeah.
which I never saw.
really?
Frank was sitting down, bro.
Wow.
Frank was sitting down.
I had a sausage in my mouth. I had just bought a brat, right? Fucking Machado's up to
Oh.
bat. Everyone's on their feet. Everyone's having a good time. I get up and I'm watching it. He fucking cracks it. Crack. And we're in San Diego. And the ball's going center field. And I'm like, fuck this. I don't want to see a home run. So I sit down. Everyone's standing up. Adam Jones has the greatest catch ever. And he pulls it back.
Oh,
And my
yeah.
girlfriend looks at me and goes, he just fucking caught it. And I'm like this, what the fuck? With the blood in my
Oh,
mouth,
no.
sitting down. I didn't see the fucking catch.
Dude, while that was going on, I turned around to Frank and I high five him and I hug him. And the girl I was dating, she was next to me. She was like this, like all pissed off. Like, really? You're gonna high five him first? I was like,
Baseball, Roy. Baseball.
I was like,
Oh, man, that's
and,
great.
And you know what? She knows about baseball because she used to play for U of A. She
Oh,
was
wow.
a softball player, so she was into it, and that's why she got even more pissed off. She's all like, "Really? You're giving them a high five?" I go, "Oh, it's Frank. Come on."
That was one of the greatest games and the greatest catch in the history of baseball.
Yeah, that was a pretty fucking spectacular catch, man. I caught the replay and I was like, he did what? I was like, oh shit.
Dude,
So I didn't
we
see
went
it live.
Bro, that was a great game. Then we went to a Dodger game. Remember, my cousin hooked it up with those.
Yeah, those are good seats.
Dude, we were first row, bro, down first base. And I
Oh,
kept on.
man, really?
Yeah.
That
my
was
cousin
such a
hooked it
good
up.
night that the girl I was dating at the time broke up with me because I showed up at her house too late.
Bro. No, you know what? You know what's funny? So Frank kept on yelling at Matt Kemp, bro, that he should go to the Yankees.
Back then.
Of course, Frank would do that. He wants
Man,
all
it
the
was
great
great
players in
It was
pinstripes.
great.
man.
She wore pinstripes at one point.
Yeah, bro. Frank was
I'm
all
the
like,
same way with the New England Patriots, so I'm
bro,
on the
hey,
top. So.
Frank was like, Matty Kemp, you'll look good in pinstripes.
Oh,
Well, you guys know I told Big Poppy that when he went to Havana House that one night.
What'd he say?
He shook his hand. He laughed.
Yeah, but I remember Big Poppy going there, and I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
shit!"
That dude had
He
a
shook
big
his
head,
hand. Yeah. Shook his hand and told him, you're going to look great in pinstripes. And he just laughed.
That dude is an awesome dude. I remember when he showed up. It was a Wednesday. Was it a Thursday, Friday?
Yeah, they were in town. For that
Yeah,
game.
No, I think it was a Friday, bro.
yeah. Because I remember a couple of the bunch of ball players would go there and buy stogies and just chill out.
Devin George.
Yeah,
showed up
Devin
once.
George would go.
Manny
but then
Ramirez
it
went.
was- Yeah, Manny. But I remember you guys brought him in through the back, right?
No,
The alley.
he came in through the front.
Did he?
What's his name used to like to come to the front? Who was the pitcher?
Odales.
Ordonez?
Olalis.
What was it?
Odales Perez.
Yeah, Perez. He
Olalis
used to like to
Perez,
come into
yeah.
the front.
Yeah.
We put the table out for him. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a story about him. So he was on injured reserve, bro. And he had
he was an IR.
yeah, so they had a barbecue for him, him and his boys, and they asked me and Rob to DJ. We're like, yeah,
No
come on.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
so
loved They love Bobby and Rob. They
Oh,
love
Yeah.
it.
that's so awesome.
Yeah, so they asked us to DJ, and we're like, yeah, fuck it, we'll do it. So we go, and then Rob's playing, and I'm over there, doing my thing, mingling, and then they start playing volleyball, and I turn around, and I tell Rob, hey, check this guy out, bro. Odales Perez diving for the balls and shit. I'm like, this dude's supposedly on IR. Dude going balls out playing volleyball, bro. Diving for the balls and shit. And I'm like, dude, didn't he hurt his shoulder or some shit like that? But
What's funny? That's a true story because, for example, when was it? The year that Julian Edelman tore his ACL. I guess he was better than, and I seen his ass in Beverly Hills because that's his fucking
spot.
That's a spot when he flies over here.
What school did he play for?
He went to Kent State, and then he's from Redding, California. He's from up north. But this motherfucker has the nerve all the time to bring his goddamn fucking Celtics jersey with his fat gold rope chain. And I'm just like, I already know he's going to start talking shit. Like, he's that Celtics fan now. That's who he is. And he hates the Dodgers because he's a giant. I guess, like times 30. And he hates the Dodgers because he's a Giants fan, right? So he flies over here to get fucking wasted and talk shit. And that was there was not this incident, but there was a previous incident where he got caught on a fucking skateboard or an electric scooter or some shit like that. And he crashed into somebody, dude. And I don't know what happened after that, but every fucking time he comes over here, he always starts some shit. And then this last one he got in trouble for was he got on top of a hood of a car.
I saw that one. I saw that.
Yeah.
One.
He just likes to get people $1 million in, right? Is what you're telling me?
I guess so, but
I
mean, it's Robert would know, man. You would know too, Frank. Fucking Boston fans, every time they come to LA, I'm just like, oh, you motherfuckers are here again. I'm like, God, like I thought it's a never-ending rivalry, man. It is. I hate to say it, but like even when I was driving rideshare and I would pick these people up and I would talk to them like, oh, where you from? And they're like, oh, I'm from Springfield. I'm like, oh, okay. So where you from? I'm like, I'm born and raised in LA. They're like, oh, okay. Like you could already hear and feel the chip on their shoulder. And then once the sports talk starts happening in the car, all of a sudden, that's when it just takes on a whole life of its own. And we're arguing about Lakers and Celtics. We're all arguing about fucking all kinds of shit.
Bro, right now you're saying that. I went to a comedy show to see Bill Burr. And I love Bill Burr. You don't know Bill Burr, bro? Oh, dude.
No. I said I love.
No, he said he loves him. He loves him.
Okay.
Yeah. I love Bill Burr.
Yeah. So
the heart, what do the kids do nowadays? The heart.
So Bill Burr.
Hashtag.
Yeah, dude. I bring up the Lakers, bro. And he just turns around and gives me like a smirk. Like,
yeah. That's the thing, man. Just like Red Sox and Yankees, man. That's all my buddies in New York City. They're like, dude, we anyone comes with that fucking red B that's not Brooklyn, they know the hat. They're talking shit.
Yeah,
I'm just like, wow, really?
When I went to New York, bro, I wore my Brooklyn hat, bro.
The greatest baseball game I've ever been to, and I've been to a lot of them, is when I saw the Yankees knock Chris Sales off the fucking mound in the third inning, like 2 years ago in Yankee Stadium, with all us fucking Yankee fans screaming, "Fuck yeah, let's go Yankees!" It was the greatest thing ever. Fuck Chris Sales.
You were there, Frank?
It was the fucking greatest. Yeah, I think they had a 4-game series that weekend. I ended up going to 2 games. I went to the Sunday game that the Yankees killed them by like 22-5. Yeah. And then I went to the Friday game. And that was the same thing.
Oh, yeah, that was that 20-plus game fucking fuck, dude.
They destroyed the fucking Sox.
I was just like, I thought it was a football score, man. I'm like, did someone score a safety or some shit? I'm like, God, because it's 5 points, dude.
And I've seen a no-hitter, and I've been to Wrigley Field, and I saw Game 1 of the NLC 2016 Cubs-Dodgers. But that was my greatest moment ever in baseball, watching Chris Sales get knocked off the fucking mound at Yankee Stadium.
Out of
Hey,
all
bro.
the games I've ever been to, Robert, I've never seen a fucking no hitter, dude. Ever.
I seen
Yeah,
a
I saw
one
it.
hitter. I seen a one hitter, and then I
I've
was at
never
the
seen a one hitter.
I was at the game when the Dodgers came back on Hoffman, bro, against the Padres.
Oh,
Nice.
against San
When they went
Diego.
back to back to back to back,
Yeah.
and then Garcia Parra won it in the extra innings.
That's a guy
No
should
shit.
have won a championship. To be honest with you,
No more? Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
He was at
He
the
should've won a
Kershaw no hitter.
Oh shit, dude. That was that no hitter. Oh, fucking Anthony. I hate you.
Bro, speaking
I've
of
seen
good games,
Kershaw pitch twice, and it's fucking beautiful. I don't
It's
care what
a work of
Dodger
art,
fans
man.
say. Kershaw's beautiful. Yeah,
it is.
That's a baseball wonder, man. Him and
It is.
Randy Johnson were
it's like
to me like baseball wonders, man.
he's our generation of Nolan Ryan. Like when it's
Yes,
all
man.
said and done, I never saw Nolan Ryan, but to
I
sit
didn't
back
either.
and go, yeah, I saw Kershaw. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I saw Nolan Ryan on TV.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, me too.
But later in his career.
No, I saw him with the Astros.
Yeah, when he was
Astros
at Houston.
Yeah.
before he was with the Rangers. That's the
Yeah.
first time I saw Nolan Ryan. He was with the Astros, dude.
Yeah.
But
That was
Another guy I
already
wish
later
I
in
would
his
have.
career, right?
What?
That
Yeah.
was already later in his career when he was at
Yeah.
Houston. Yeah.
Yeah, he went.
No, he was with Texas at the end of his career, wasn't he?
Yeah,
He started with the
Rangers?
Astros. Yeah.
Yes. And then,
It was the
other way
Rangers.
around. I'm
He was
the
with
fucking
Anaheim.
Yeah.
He was with the Astros. The
California.
one guy I wish I would have seen I never saw was Ken Griffey.
You never saw him.
Senior
Never
or
saw him.
junior?
Junior, bro, junior.
Oh,
How old do you think we are, Edge? Was I born in 52? I saw Senior win 2 championships in Cincinnati. He had his kid running around in the dugout. and Shots was out there with her dog. I didn't even know who Ken Griffey Sr. was until Ken Griffey Jr. was.
I used to love that man's fucking swing, man. It was the
Yeah.
greatest fucking thing ever. Him and believe it or not, before the PEDs, it was Barry Bonds. I used to love watching him fucking bat.
I'll tell you who had a
I
sweet
need to
swing
watch
too.
Barry Bonds.
Will Clark had a sweet swing too.
Will fucking
Yeah,
Clark,
Will Clark.
the Giants, man. As much as I hate the fucking Giants, man, I can't hate on the fucking most epic players they've ever had, man. Even
They've had some good players.
no, what was the guy that pitched game 1 in the Earthquake World Series in '89? I forgot his name. But watching him pitch too, I was like, God, dude, he was striking out Canseco, McGuire. I was like, dude, he struck out Ricky Hendry. I think he even threw him out on a steal. I was like, oh shit, like this guy's legit.
They had a good team back then. They had a really good team back
Yeah,
then.
man. And but that Earthquake, Frank single-handedly changed the momentum of the entire series. It was just weird when they would come back and play in San Francisco because they're like already freaked out that another earthquake was going to hit.
So you're talking about Dave Stewart?
Dave Stewart was with
Stewart, dude.
Dave Stewart was with the A's. No, Dave Stewart was with the A's.
No. Who pitched game 1 for San Francisco in the '89 World Series?
You bastard.
1989 World Series pitchers. All right, let's see. It was
dude, I could just picture his face, but I don't remember him. He had a mustache.
No, he had like a brocha kind of mustache.
No, he had more of a firefighter mustache, bro.
The big ones,
Was it?
right?
No, it was kind of
The big
thinner.
stashes that everyone used to have back in the 80s.
It looked like a caterpillar above your lip.
Because dude, fucking Oakland swept them like 4-0. But I remember game 1, Oakland won 5-0, but like the first couple of innings. Oh, his name was fucking Scott Geraltz.
I remember.
Yeah.
For some reason, I
have
was
to
just
look at
guessing.
that
But
roster.
Dave Stewart was the winning pitcher for that game. And then, dude, Dave Stewart pitched game 1 and 3.
Dave Stewart was a stud.
Yeah.
Jesus
Stewart
Christ,
lost.
holy shit.
Dave Stewart lost game 1 to the Dodgers, and he should have won that game.
Yeah,
And
did.
Eckersley was on the mound when Kitty hit that home run.
yeah. I remember because I never forgot that fucking sidearm release that he had, and to this day I could still see it. It was like sideways. I'm like, he doesn't throw this way. He throws
Overhand.
like that. I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah.
But then I learned you can't pitch for that long with that kind of fucking motion because your arm's gonna fall off.
I saw Eck and I've seen a lot of people, and I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I've seen a lot of people where I don't drunk. But 2 years ago, we were at spring training, went to the Cubs Sox game. It was like the last weekend before the series actually, like the season started.
Yeah.
And we're walking through the stadium at the end of the night. We're like 8, and Eck is walking out. And I look and I'm like, that's Dennis Eckersley. And my girlfriend's like, Dennis? Who? And I'm like, that's Eck. That's Dennis Eckersley. And like, I can see her mind moving like, I think I know who you're talking about. He's a pitcher, right? And like, I'm like full on like nerding out, like, fucking Dennis. And then some dude's like, hey, yeah, good job. And he's just like, waving at him and walking out in his slacks. And I was just like, fuck, that's fucking Eckersley.
I remember geeking out like that when I saw Earl Hershiser.
Oh wow, the Bulldog
coming out of the commentary booth. I think coming out of the box, and my wife didn't know who the hell I was talking about. I'm like, oh my god, that's the Bulldog. She's like, you see a bulldog like a dog? I'm like, no, the Bulldog. She's like, who? I'm like, never mind. I'm like, it's Earl Hershiser. She's like, Oral what?
I worked one of the Emmys that Fox covered at the red carpet, and what they did that year was they had pregame. They showed the NFL games, so they did pretty much 2 games, and then they went straight into the Emmy show. So they built in the LA Live quad. They built their weekend panel that they kind of do. Like Terry and Howie and all them are there.
Yeah.
I mean, we have tons of celebrities and stars walking that space on that Sunday, but seeing Howie and Terry, and Michael, giants, dude. Like you turn a corner and you're like, "Fuck!" I just almost walked into Howie Long. Holy shit! There's fucking Terry Bradshaw, and I was more. They're huge, blown away by these guys than anyone else like that entire day on the carpet. And I was just like,
I was even impressed when at Pasadena City College, I think Nick Montana was playing there, Robert, or somebody was, or they were scrimmaging. I forgot when, but I saw Joe Montana, and dude, I was shaking. I was like, holy shit. And I'm like, wait,
Joe Montana.
I'm like, I don't remember. I'm like, I remember he was billed at 6'2", but I'm just like, God, the old man he looks fucking like a giant, man, and his fingers are long, and I'm just like, what made him look so small back in the 80s and 90s?
His lineman.
Because the other guys were like 6'8". Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember I saw Harris Barton at what's it called, the trading card shop in the Hacienda Heights, La Puente.
Oh, I know.
Frankincense. They had a signing there, and Harris Barton, one of the greatest offensive linemen of San Francisco 49er history, was there. And that's the biggest fucking dude I've ever fucking seen in my life, besides Alejandro Villanueva from the Pittsburgh Steelers. That guy's fucking huge too. And I was just like, fuck. Like I didn't really get starstruck too much with football players, but if I ever met like a baseball player, then I was like, fuck, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I was like, shit, man. Like, I don't know what I would say or do if I met, for example, Darryl Strawberry, man.
Yeah, I was starstruck with Jerry Rice, bro.
Oh, yeah, okay, Jerry liked your fucking
baseball players of all fucking time, man. I wouldn't know what to fucking tell him.
And that's why when he started hanging out with me, I was like, whoa. It was unreal, bro.
Yeah, it's like,
I know everyone.
How did that happen?
That was unreal. No one believed me, bro. He would go to Suede and hang out.
Yeah.
Frank, he sent me the picture from Suede from his. I think he had a BlackBerry or some shit.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so I'm like, wow.
I as much as I know everyone needs to make money and keep making money, I hate these fucking Brett Favre, Jerry Rice, pressure, ankle, knee, bullshit commercials that I keep seeing every Saturday and Sunday during the playoffs with Vicks Vapor Rub in their fucking pressure.
That's Shaq, bro. Vicks Vapor Rub.
No, Jerry Rice is in one of them.
Really?
Yeah, him and Favre are like playing tennis with girls and throwing the football around and taking off their knee bandages. Come on, we know Jerry Rice runs heels. Jerry Rice takes boys and runs heels with them.
That's so fucking true, man. It's so funny.
Who do you guys have Who do you guys have? Okay, so not so much this weekend, but who are your picks for the Super Bowl?
Oh Lord, man, these are bold predictions that. Wait, what did you say?
I had the Packers and Steelers, bro.
That
is
Steelers. When did you have the Steelers? Last week?
What?
Yeah, I did. I had Packers and Steelers, bro.
Ooh.
They were struggling going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I know.
They kept blaming it on all the COVID.
Yeah, I thought they were going to turn it around, though.
Wow. Really?
Ben hasn't said he's going to retire yet, right?
Nah.
Well, from those tears I saw on the sideline, man, I think, I don't think he's coming back. Either that or is he going to finish his career with another team? I highly doubt it because that's not the Pittsburgh Steelers way, man.
Their backup quarterback sucks, bro. I'm sorry, but their backup quarterback is not good.
Who, Mason Rudolph?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they might just pick somebody else up. Who knows? But, I mean.
Who's out there?
Deshaun Watson.
There's a couple of people that are free agents.
Trubisky, they should make a trade for Trubisky and take
Mitchell. Yeah, Cam Newton didn't work out with
Cam's
New England,
done, bro.
So
Cam cannot. Cam cannot do anything with Belichick. He's done.
Rivers
Phillip
is out.
Rivers.
You think so? You think Rivers is out?
And I hate to say
back
it,
in
Frank,
the Super Bowl.
Okay, look.
How old is Anthony to know the Bills went to the Super Bowl?
Anthony is maybe like 3 or 4 years old, younger than I am. So he grew up with our riffraff, my generation. So he knows about the 4 in a row. 4 in a row. 4. New York Giants, Dallas Cowboys twice.
And Patriots.
No, 3 times.
And no. Washington back then, Washington Redskins.
Washington football team,
Mark
boys.
Rippon. Yeah, well, back then
Washington football team.
Washington.
Was it? It was a Mark Rippon Redskins, right?
Mark Rippon.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a Mark
Rippon,
dude. Yeah, it was. That was it, dude. Yeah. Yeah, it was. I remember watching that at St. Lucy's church in City Terrace.
That was the last time Washington won then, right?
Yeah.
Yes. That was the last one they won.
Who was their black quarterback that we should
mention?
Doug Williams.
Doug Williams.
And he wasn't even the starter at the beginning of the season.
He went to Grambling.
I was a kid. I had no idea I was watching history during that Super Bowl. No clue that I was watching history.
I think the starting quarterback during the season was Jay Schrader, right?
I don't know.
Who wound up being
from the Raiders?
Well, yeah, he was originally with Washington.
Wow.
Yeah. So bold prediction only because I'm being biased here, Frank. Okay. It's the AFC East. It's my team's division. If Buffalo, Miami, or even the Jets were in it right now and not my team, I would be rooting them on too. So my prediction is Buffalo will go to the AFC Championship. They're going to come up short, unfortunately, because I really think that they're going to have a tough time with Kansas City, only because I'm a huge fan of Patrick Mahomes, man. I can't deny his talent, his skill, his fucking, I don't know. He's like a Madden hack. It's crazy, dude. But they'll face Kansas City in the AFC Championship, but KC is going back to the big dance. In the NFC, however, you're going to see Tom Brady again, man.
Oh, God.
So it's Tampa Bay against Kansas City.
Who does Tampa play this weekend?
They're playing
the Saints.
New Orleans. Yeah, it's a battle of the 4-year-olds, man.
No,
that's right. I keep seeing that History Channel meme. I got the
It's
Packers
so
and the
hilarious.
Chiefs. I got the
Green
Packers
Bay?
and the Chiefs. Yeah. I like the Bills. I like what they're doing. I like what the Ravens are doing. I think the Ravens realize that they are better than the Bills right now after that win against who did they beat?
Titans.
Titans. And I had the Titans
Tennessee.
winning.
Yeah.
The NFC is so watered down. It's going to be a good matchup in the Super Bowl, but I think at the end of the day, Andy Reid is going to wins that Super Bowl.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's
He came from the 49er tree, bro. Andy Reid.
Yeah. And Mahomes is the greatest actor / football player that we have ever seen.
Oh, my God.
So you think we're going to see a State Farm Super Bowl?
Yeah, I think so. State Farms are fucking put their money behind it.
Wow, that sounds like a happening already, man. It's like, okay, so it's gonna be pumped up. But the thing that really disappoints me though, man, it's there's still gonna be no fans there.
It's in Tampa. It's in Tampa.
Well, they'll be limited capacity. I mean, Tampa's only allowing what 60% capacity.
How much of the ticket it's going for?
I'm sure it's going for a lot, man. I mean, they're not going to be cheap, obviously, and then because they need to stimulate their economy somehow. And what the fuck are you going to do? It's like if you're not working and you're in the middle of this pandemic, still struggling. How the hell are you going to go to a fucking ball game, dude? That's what I don't understand. And the homie Chino might know more about that stuff because he's in Florida, and he would know more of.
He just stays home, bro. He doesn't go out.
Of course, I mean he's smart. He's smart. He's not no dummy. He's not a Florida man, that's for sure.
Nah, he's not.
He's Cali true and true, man. But and this is the other thing too is coming back here home to California. I've been hearing rumors that they're turning. Obviously, Disneyland is in Anaheim is going to turn into a vaccination center, and so is Dodger Stadium. What does that mean? Hopefully, if they get enough people, I guess, vaccinated, it'll lead to a hopeful sports with crowd scenario when it comes to spring to opening day.
Speaking of spring,
maybe will that happen? I don't know. I've heard a rumor. Yeah, Frank, of course, is doubtful. And I don't blame him because I'm a high hope kind of guy.
Me too.
Maybe
I was last year. Yeah, I was last, and I was hoping that we would start opening up around this time, February, March. 1 year, and it's the anniversary, and we're moving forward, and we can go down this conversation on the way that the last presidential cabinet managed all this bullshit. Unfortunately, I think we're looking at if we're lucky, July, August.
Really?
But I honestly think it's going to go till late fall.
Wow.
Unfortunately, because LA County's dealing with too much shit right now, bro. And there's so many statistics coming out right now. A lot of people aren't taking it serious, and we bookend. New York started it, and once again, LA is going to finish it. And they're even talking about potentially canceling the Olympics because Tokyo's having a spike again.
They closed all borders because of the new strain that's appeared in the UK and parts of Europe. But the other thing too that bums me out, Frank, is that WrestleMania was supposed to be at SoFi this year. And I was really looking forward to that, man. I was looking forward to that stadium opening and, going to see the Rams play New England on a Thursday night. And then before that, it was New England at Chargers at the same stadium. I'm like, shit, I could have gone to 2 games, in the same week. But
we may see full stadiums for the World Series and the kickoff of college football and NHL and NBA and week 3 of the NFL. But I as much as I wish that wasn't true, I mean I would be really surprised if things turned around in the next couple of months.
And then that also brings me back to, you know, our beloved service industry. It's like, fuck, man, like how, aside from the bigger profiters here, there's also the small businesses that have been fucking totally decimated, man.
Yeah.
And fuck, it's like, I understand that the ingenuity just wasn't really there to begin with, because nobody was prepared for this, first and foremost. And to be quite honest, I mean, we all have similar opinions on this, how it was handled in the first place. But still, man, it's like, fuck, dude, like I hate now seeing just business after business after business after business that just saying, hey, we're closed. And some of my favorite spots, you know, shout out to Cities in East LA, shout out to 28 West in Alhambra, Havana House in Alhambra and Whittier. They're closed, man.
Have you been to downtown lately?
Well, now when I was driving, yeah, but this is right before
boarded up, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it was
so boarded. Yeah.
It's horrible, man. I don't like it one bit. I know this pandemic is it fucking sucks, man. It's deadly. But at the same time, it's like, okay, it's like a total rock in the hard place. Like, what are we gonna do? And are we all out of ideas? I don't know. I don't like to think so. I mean, there's like I said, I'm a high hope guy. You know, I'm hoping, you know, the smart people put their brains together and find something out quick. And
they have. But remember,
maybe.
The smart people have been working on it. Unfortunately, you know, in the United States, there's so many people who made this political that they steered their direction in the wrong path. You know, once they get the freedom to go back and focus on getting us back to the new normal, we'll start seeing that change, and it's going to be in stages.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because there was even talks, Robert, of like doing rapid testing before entering any small business facility, for example, or even like a stadium. And I'm just like, okay, it's probable, but like, let's weigh out the cost. How much is it? Obviously, how much is it going to cost for taxpayers? That you got to learn how the money works and how it circulates, obviously.
Yeah.
But do we need to do such a thing to give us certainty and peace of mind, at least that we're going to have a good time at this establishment, knowing that, okay, I just tested negative. Cool. Maybe that might be, light at the end of the tunnel here. But my buddy Anthony here, for example, he fought COVID for almost a month and change. Horrible thing. And, we already know the mortality rates. It's hit us personally.
Yeah.
But he's saying that the vaccine is the only way this whole shit ends. And I've already known a couple of people personally that have taken it. Some had pretty bad, not side effects, but reactions to it, just like a flu shot. Other than that, it's been, not bad at all. Symptoms weren't horrible, as opposed to actually catching COVID, because catching COVID is just, you guys already know, it's horrible, man. But, and then, there's state workers, there's first responders that are getting all this stuff. And, but in the same token, there's a contrary, Frank, like you got people that they're like, no, I'm not taking that vaccine. I don't know what's in it, but yet they're snorting lines of cocaine.
No, there's, and to be honest with you, like, yeah, but there are people who aren't putting cocaine up their nose or have never put cocaine up their nose. And, excuse me. And are still worried about the vaccine. One, the stories of the Black community not, trusting, politicians and vaccines and so on and so forth. I mean, I had a conversation with a friend, a really good friend of mine, who said that, he didn't want to deal with that. He doesn't want the vaccine, cerebral palsy and everything else that comes with it,
Yeah.
it's gonna be an interesting time that we have to go through. It goes back to us being able to get on your podcast and talk about it. Us reaching out to each other off the podcast and texting one another and telling you, hey brother, as much as we don't say it as men, I love you, you're my boy, if you need support, I'm here for you, blah blah blah. And we're gonna get there. We'll get to this fucking finish line, and we'll look back and go, this was one of the worst things that we've ever had to face. But I honestly think that without us rebuilding that community and supporting one another, and even if it's just text messages, phone numbers, conversations, running into each other somewhere out in the open,
sending you a mixtape.
Yeah.
So Anthony's saying if the vaccine came out while Biden was already president, more people would take it. And in all fairness to Joe Biden, or President-elect Joe Biden's, I want to say,
he's president. That guy fucked up. That guy's done. He's president. That guy should just be golfing right now.
I want to look forward to his first 100 days because I've seen his plan. And moving forward now, not to say that I'm using a form of confirmation bias, but I do read a lot, and I've read through all 4 years of the previous administration. I was very subjective, and I objected to a lot of it. But now seeing the first 100-day plan with Joe Biden, I'm looking forward to it because there's a lot of work to be done. And the first 100 days is key to set the pace for the remainder of the year. And don't get me wrong, it's not going to be perfect, man. Everyone thinks it's an overnight thing that's going to just fix automatically. And I'm like, no, man. I mean, it's going to take, at this point, it'll take a village, small, LA, New York, DC, Chicago, even Las Vegas, for example. Everyone has to be in harmony and just collaborate and work together. Yeah.
Look at what happened when Alabama won the national championship. Look at all the footage coming out of that fucking place.
Robert, did you see
that? That was the first thing I said. I was like, holy shit, look at all those people. And I guarantee it, not all of them are wearing masks. And they're young and they're dumb and they just want to get laid and get drunk and have a good time. Yeah. And that's how they're not protecting other people. So
that's how I feel like, fuck, man. Like I honestly think that, a pandemic is really that's the design, man. It's carelessness. It's basically objection. And that's that easy how it spreads. I'm just like, holy shit. Like it's almost like a sick, like, wonder, like, oh, so this is how it works. Like it's designed this way.
It's like Planet of the Apes, bro.
Yeah, and sometimes it's unintentional. It's just the way the viruses work, man.
The John Franco one, bro.
Yeah. James Franco.
My bad. James Franco.
Not the one with Marky Mark, because the Marky Mark one was pretty damn good.
You liked it?
It was.
I didn't like that.
Tim Roth.
I didn't like that cliffhanger.
Tim Roth. Yeah.
That was like that cliffhanger.
That was what's his name? Beetlejuice. Who's the director?
Michael Keaton.
No, the director, bro.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Beetlejuice. Tim Burton. That was Tim Burton's.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Hey, so, and we're talking about the virus, and we're talking about next steps, and we're talking about where we're at close to a year later. Essential workers, man, you have one right here, right now, Mr. Robert Stylz, who's out there every day making sure that deliveries are getting to people's homes, whether they need the fucking shit or they don't need it.
Yeah.
He's out there doing it every day,
You know what?
Unfortunately, I'm at home and I'm doing the best I can. I cover myself up and I go on a run and I go to the grocery store, but that's as far as I go. This dude's out there fucking battling constantly.
Bro, I'm actually lucky of not lucky, but I'm like the area where I deliver, Silver Lake, Los Feliz. The people out there are really good about masks, bro.
Totally.
They're really good about masking. you know. And
I like to think there's a lot of smart people in in those areas.
yeah, bro. I like it
A
because
lot.
you'll be surprised. I like it because they fucking pick up their dog shit, bro. And I don't have to worry
Yeah.
about stepping on that shit.
Yeah.
It's little things like that, bro. It's little things like that, dude. You
Oh,
wouldn't
yeah.
think to it. You wouldn't think to it.
Again,
It
I'm
would
a high hope
bother you.
guy, man. I think with work, awareness and just having conversations like this,
Yeah.
you know, we can just influence one person. We've done our job. I mean, I'm not here to overturn and change the world overnight. I'm just like, no, if we can help out at least one person, that's a start. I'm like, cool, because
So-
then hopefully they can, you know, pay it forward. So
what I mean, speaking of dog shit, and this is going to transition into something I kind of wanted to like let everyone know about. I stepped in dog shit today, and I stepped in dog shit because I was making deliveries for the organization Know Us Without You. I don't know if you guys remember Othon from Whittier Havana House.
Yeah.
I play football with them,
and he has his own bar.
Yeah.
They were one of the first, him and his partner Damien were one of the first people to pivot as soon as they could and start supporting and turn their company into an organization to support back of house folks. It's called Know Us Without You, and they're just feeding people as much as they can. They're dropping off food, and they're making sure that people are taken care of through this entire thing, whether it's diapers, formulas, beans, strawberries, eggs.
No shit.
You know, I've been putting some time in with them. I've been fortunate enough to, you know, be trusted by them to get out there and support them. You know, you can find them on Instagram, Facebook. I'm sure they're on the Twitter, online. It's like $30, one $30 donation. And I know it's a lot for a lot of us right now, but one $30 donation could feed a family of like 4.
It's
for
Know Us Without
week.
You. Is that correct?
Know Us Without You. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I'll be sure to spotlight on a clip so everyone can know about it.
And they're running it like it's a business, man. They're out there every day. Just, you know, Othon was out there today delivering in South Central. I think he had like total of like 50 deliveries to like families out there. So
nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's always been a very very selfless guy. I met him in 1999, believe it or not, before he started working at Uptown Whittier Havana House. But nonetheless, man, I mean, shit, that's like a good
yeah, and they
man.
They didn't sit back and they didn't turn around and say, oh my God, my business. They quickly pivoted it and said, how can we support people? And it grew, and it grew fast. You know, at one point it was just pickups.
Yeah.
And then it turned into deliveries, and it turned into pickups and deliveries. And I mean, they're doing, you know, whether you're religious or not, they're doing God's work out there right now, man.
That's
whether
awesome,
you believe
man.
She's a female or a male, they're doing his or her work.
For a big Cosmo.
What's that saying? That joke? When God made
Alanis Morissette is God?
No, wait. When God made men, she was only playing. When God created man, she was only playing or joking.
Oh my God. But gentlemen, we've reached the 2-hour and 23-minute mark. That's actually didn't seem like it was that long.
Nah, bro, we didn't even scratch the surface.
No, we are also going to run it back again with a sequel, and hopefully we can have another guest join us, because these stories just don't complete themselves, obviously.
Dude, and if you think about it, we really didn't even talk about a lot about Havana House.
No, we didn't. And yeah, we got to run it back, man. I mean, hopefully we can do one next week or the week after, and maybe talk about the results from, you know, the divisional fucking games.
Yeah, I like that.
Who knows? I mean, inauguration day is next week. We can probably do one of those. I mean, shit, man. I mean, it's next Thursday, right? Inauguration day?
Wednesday, I believe.
Wednesday? Okay, maybe
when
we
is
can
it, the 20th?
Yeah, it's the 20th. because apparently now the FBI is on high
Wednesday.
alert with all these different threats that they're discovering, and I really
that's
think
a whole other
Yeah.
topic. I can give you guys 45 minutes right now.
fuck. That's a tease, man. We need a whole hour or two,
bro.
Easily.
but
nah, trust me. I've been posting a lot of political shit lately on my Instagram, which I rarely do, and I get some ignorant fucks, bro. And
I can imagine.
Oh, you liberal, and I'm like, dude, I don't care about left or right, bro. To be honest with you, I go. Sometimes I just do it to piss people off.
I enjoy the actual engagement for the conversation, but when the conversation takes and Frank would know, it
the
takes
dude who sells shoes.
Yeah, when
the
it
guy
takes
who sells shoes.
Yeah, it's a bonehead. Like, I don't know, man. I can't even. I mean, I hate to say it and put these guys on blast because I know them personally. Even my LAPD friends, they're just like, I'm like, really? It's like, you know me personally to be a very, at least, somewhat smart guy. I'm not saying this just to blow smoke up your ass. I'm not here to change your mind, but you mean to tell me I can't have the conversation because you view me as different?
I don't know,
belief in politically. It's like,
people like
I'm
that
not like you. You're not like me. Yeah, it's like, okay, in the world of absolute certainty, quoting Tony Robbins, then it would be boring. If you're going to predict everything, how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen. Yeah, that's why we have variety. It's, different surprises, different, styles, different beliefs. It's like, but to them, it's like they're really, against communism and socialism, but yet they want everyone to think just like them. I'm like,
what communism? What communism and socialism? Do they not know what that actually means?
They don't. They don't. You know why? Because it's funny that they bring up socialism. Because then you point out, I point out the fire department.
Yeah. And you point out their occupation, which is law enforcement. I'm just like, oh, you don't like socialism? Well, law enforcement is a socialistic.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
And to answer your question, Frank, I said those type of people give me a rash.
So I'm gonna leave you guys with a little something I heard today. And clearly, you could call me, far left or whatever. Is it the New York Jets? Is it the New York Jets getting that Niner? New York Jets. So the reason why, don't even get me going about communism. Boris, communism? Is he Russian?
He's from Dagestan.
We have to drink some vodka with Boris soon. So the reason why that there wasn't, National Guard and high alert and so on and so forth at the Capitol last week, and this is reports that have come out, is because the people that were out there were supposed to be harmless because they looked like authorities and they looked like people of non-color, minorities, and I hate that fucking word, ethnic background, so on and so forth. It pissed me off to say that, but there was reports that they said they didn't expect them to do what they did because they were white people.
Wow.
There was reports that they said they didn't expect
awesome.
them to do what they did.
Very suspect.
And that's not me digging into like some bullshit YouTube bullshit, because I don't fucking believe in that. That's an NPR report.
Yeah.
That is them talking to directors of security and reports coming out saying they did not expect them to do what they did because they look like us. They were white.
And they were giving people tours the day before, and all the panic buttons were yanked off the
They
walls,
said the one thing that you got to realize is people who actually do plans, who understand how to take over things like this, who have that military background, they love the chaos. So all those fucking Viking assholes and dipshits that you saw on camera, they were dumb fucks who did get caught up in this. There was a group of them that understood. They knew exactly what they were doing. They knew the blueprints. They knew everything that was going on. And this is something that you see in third world countries. This is something that always happens. This is not uncommon. What they do is they're opportunists and they take advantage of once it gets out of control, they're in. And that's it.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
And then they turn around and tell me that I'm fucking, a lefty and too fucking full of it. When I know for a fact there's people out there in the United States who will fly the fucking the Confederate flag, and they don't want me in this country, but I was born here, so fuck them.
Exactly. Robert, any last words, man?
I gotta get up in like 4 hours.
We love you, brother. We love you.
Just miss you. Nah, dude, I'm telling you, we didn't even scratch the surface, man.
No, we're gonna run it back.
Not at all, man. Like, we always veer into all kinds of different topics, bro. Like we covered sports, a little bit of sports, a little bit of politics, archives of movies, old movies, and music.
And Phoebe Cates.
Phoebe Cates, bro. You know what? Right now that you said that, have you guys seen Just One of the Guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
That chick, bro.
Yes.
That chick.
Yes.
That chick.
We will never see that movie and Soul Man ever given to us on any digital platform or anything else again. Watch.
I have the DVD, bro. I have the DVD.
Wow. And Blu-ray.
Let's run it back like the 92 Bulls or the 2001 Lakers.
Oh, shit. Damn.
Two greatest teams, right?
Damn.
Jordan, Kobe, everybody else.
Wow.
I was going to say the 88-89 Niners.
Ooh.
Damn.
Clark was on that team, right?
No. He was in
No.
That was 81.
He was in that other Super Bowl team that beat
he was in 81?
Cincinnati.
No, he was in 81 and 85 Super Bowl.
Yeah, not the Cincinnati with Boomer Esiason and Sam Weish as the coach, but the one before that.
Yeah, with Ken Anderson.
Yeah.
So it was just Montana and Jerry Rice. Who was their fullback? They had a big guy.
It was Tom Rathman, number 44.
Yeah,
Roger Craig.
Yeah, he's the Cornhusker, bro. Cornhusker from Nebraska.
Yep.
And who's this?
And
it's actually the Pinky, bro.
Oh, is the Pinky?
Yeah.
Ronnie Lott, right?
Ronnie
Lott. I broke my finger off. Let's play. That's a man.
You'll never get a football player like that again. Never.
I mean, and I can also rant about the 94 Niners because that was like kind of like a new age Niner team for me with the Steve Young, Jerry Rice, John Taylor, Ricky Waters,
William Floyd,
Deion Sanders,
Irvin Hanks, Ken Norton Jr.
Man, that's
Steve Young used to be my favorite quarterback.
Man, it was him and Troy Aikman, to be honest with you. And then this guy from
mine is
Mississippi came out of nowhere and just kind of won me over, along with the guy from Washington State. I was just like, these guys.
Aikman owned the Rose Bowl. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
he won a Super Bowl there. He won a Rose Bowl there. Like he owned that.
I thought you were more of a Neil O'Donnell fan, Frank.
Oh my god!
Neil O'Donnell. I'm a Bernie Kosar guy. I'm a Bernie.
Game away, man. He threw the game away. But nonetheless, man, let's run it back. Let's do it again. Hopefully, we can have another guest. I'll check in with that person.
Let's run it back like Bo Jackson.
Oh my god! Oh man, that was my Superman, and I saw his kryptonite. That's so fucked up, man.
Who?
I was like, no, Bo Jackson.
Oh.
I'll never forget that Cincinnati Bengals game at the Coliseum. I saw that. I was just like, wait, he's not coming back. I was like, shit.
Saw that on TV, and that was like,
great.
Whoa.
My buddy, he used to call him his Dios.
with the poster, the black and white poster like that with the bat.
Yep. Yep.
Well, hey, thanks to everyone for tuning in and everyone who's going to watch the replay because a lot of people do.
We're going to run it back. They're going to run it back,
We're
right?
going to run it back. I mean, let's actually make a date for it next week. Hopefully the same time. Inauguration day is going to happen. Who knows what the fuck is going to happen?
I think it's the 21st inauguration, bro.
No, it's the 20th.
That's a Wednesday.
Yeah,
I think it's
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we can shoot for that day if we're all available, or we can shoot the next day and talk some shit. But fuck, man, who knows, man? From here to next week,
we don't want another day of Trump. Like
we don't.
Let's do it on the 17th.
I don't know what else. Fuck, man. I don't know what else is gonna happen. I mean, not only do we have this divisional round weekend coming up, and hockey's back too. That's kind of weird to watch because there's no crowd. And then you have all this shit coming out with FBI reports, CIA. I'm just like, God, what next?
And we got Brooklyn. This coming up week. Kyrie will be back. It's gonna be crazy. Let's
see.
Have you guys seen the Brooklyn intro?
No, I have not.
No, not their old one. When they got
I haven't seen.
Dude, it's awesome.
No, I haven't seen it. Really?
They have Biggie singing, of course.
Oh shit!
Yeah. But their video intro is really good. Their video intro is really good.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thanks again for tuning in. Thanks for being a part of the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Back. And sayonara.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, brothers.